The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.patreon.com/The BPD Show.
Good morning. It is Tuesday, August 3rd. I am independent journalist Georgia Ford in for Ben Dixon, who hopefully will be joining us later on in the show. I want to start today by addressing some very urgent issues that really came to the forefront this weekend when the moratorium was lifted July 31st. Now, more than 11 million Americans could be facing eviction. We're going to head to Las Vegas and take a listen to what one of the executive directors of their legal aid organizations had to say on the issue and why this could also not only impact our economy, but impact our fight against COVID.
We can't work, we can't pay. If families are forced to go to a shelter or double up, you're risking more exposure. Doing it when the Delta variant is out of control is a really bad idea.
But lifting some state-level eviction bans last summer, say researchers, led to more than 10,000 COVID deaths.
And Dr. Mack, I know that we've talked extensively over the last week about this Delta variant, about those who are vaccinated but not wearing masks, spreading the disease. And now when you start thinking about adding to the mix, not only kids going back to school, but this possibility of mass evictions and what that could mean of people gathering in close proximity in shelters. It sounds like we are getting all the ingredients for the recipe of disaster.
Yes, for disaster, because again, you add to that the fact that we're now entering into cold and flu seasons, and as people are talking about, the experts are saying that this variant is easier to be transferred than the common cold. So now imagine that you have nearly 11 million people evicted, no place to go. What are they going to do? And the problem, one of the problems I have, it is a very complex issue from one hand of maybe small homeowners who may have leveraged their equity in their home to try to get ahead. That's one side of the coin. So you can look at the financial aspect of it, but I think what reigns key is this is a moral issue, not an economic issue of turning people out, away from their homes in the middle of a pandemic. Well, let's not even call it the middle of it, but let's call it a second phase of it. So even though, and in my own thoughts, I've looked at it from an economic standpoint of saying, look, when they set the moratorium, when they set the eviction situation up, that it would last through this pandemic. I think that when lawmakers originally set that up, people felt that by this time, we'd be beyond it. Well, obviously, This virus is mutated. It's come again. And so for the Supreme Court to uphold the original deadline of the eviction notice, and then for the Biden administration to now push it on and say, well, the Supreme Court said that. Well, Biden, you need to remember, you were Lazarus. Black folks pulled you from the jaws of death. So again, let's not make this an economic issue or a political issue. Make it a moral issue to the very constituents that pulled you out and gave you that Oval Office. So that's part of that's the other side of the equation that has me troubled with the Biden administration right now and the Democrats as a whole.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys saw there on the screen, but more than $11 billion has been allocated in federal funds to assist people in saving their homes, in being able to to basically avoid eviction. Right? You have funding available to help people catch up on their rent, but only $3 billion of that has been used. And so basically, what we're finding out is that people don't even know that this funding exists. People don't even know that they have access to this funding. All they have to do is apply for it. And so I want to encourage people because, we're probably only one or two people removed from those who are affected by this to research how to apply to this funding. And if you know someone, go on ahead and pass along the information because although it is up to states, right? This is a federal law. The federal eviction ban was lifted on July 31st. Now it's up to the states to enforce it. So you have some states who are giving people an extension, some states who are saying the time is now, you got to pay up or get out. And so if you do apply for that federal funding, what it does is it pauses your eviction. So you cannot be evicted if you have a pending application into the federal government for this funding. And there is a ton of money left. The only problem, Dr. Mack, is people don't know that it's available. People don't know that it's there. Look at that, 47 billion approved, only 3 billion distributed.
And see, I would look at this both ways. Not only should we help renters to understand that these funds are available, but also the landlords? So if the two of them worked in concert, because if I were a landlord and I knew that this fund, let's assume that I was a landlord and I had 3 properties that I leveraged my home equity, my current home equity into to get 3 properties so that I can try to get ahead in life. And now I'm looking at a situation where renters are not paying. But if I know that the money is available, I'm going to work with the renters also to try to get those applications in to get that money approved so that they can now help me. The renters are being helped out, but the homeowners and the landlords, now they too can work in concert with their renters to make sure that they get this money. Because again, if it's in everybody's best interest, and we're talking now just from an economic standpoint. But again, even if I had owned a large complex of renters, and I knew people had fallen behind on their renters, and I know that this funding is available, versus me as a landlord putting the responsibility solely on the renters, which they have their portion too. But if I'm working in my best interest, I'm too going to get those applications together. Now I can meet with the renters and say, look, together we need to sign this and get this in so that you can get assistance. We don't have to worry about eviction. So everybody could be working in concert, because the other thing that we have to remember is even when those PPP loans came out for small businesses, a lot of those small businesses who were applying were being rejected for whatever reason. Then we're watching organizations like the Ivy League schools, Harvard and the likes, they're getting these PPP loans, when in fact their endowments are so incredibly great. So there's a lot of nooks and crannies, shortfalls that occur. If it's about whether or not people know about it, the renters can have a responsibility, but trust and believe, if I were a landlord and I knew that these funds were available, I too would be working in concert with my renters to get this.
Right.
So not only is it the problem solved economically, but more importantly, the moral issue of evicting people with this new Delta variant coming out doesn't ride on my conscience as a landlord.
Yeah, me either. And I think when you look at the fact that these are not irresponsible people who just decided to not go to work, not pay their rent. I mean, when you think about how people really ended up in this predicament with all the furloughs, with the lockdowns, this was not something that people chose. This is something that happened as a result of government issued lockdowns for the safety of everyone. And so it just doesn't seem, to your point, moral to be pushing people out of their homes, especially when this pandemic is not over yet. And I want to turn now to Representative Cori Bush, who has been advocating on this issue, because she says that she actually has been impacted by homelessness even before the pandemic. And so for some of these lawmakers who have no idea what it's like to be homeless, who have no idea what it's like to couch hop, who have no idea what it's like to sleep outside or sleep in your car, and then add having kids to that, and you're dragging kids along with you in these situations. Some of these lawmakers who are pushing for this or not standing up to put protections in place, it's easy for them to do that because they don't know what it's like. But Representative Cori Bush, she says that this is something very personal to her, and she's using all of her political and social capital to try and protect people from being pushed out of their homes. Take a listen.
I'm joined now by that member of Congress who has been sleeping outside the Capitol since the House went home, Congresswoman Cori Bush, Democrat from Missouri, who's experienced housing insecurity herself. Congressman Bush, great to have you. I mean, why this is not an action that every member of Congress would take every day. Why is this so important to you?
I am just a strong believer in, first of all, humans helping humans. That's how I ended up out of the situations that I was in. Someone reached out, someone helped me. My family was there for me, and a family friend helped me get out of that situation. But then also just I know what it's like to have to walk through every single piece of what happens when an eviction is possible in your life, and then what happens when you are actually evicted, and what that does to you emotionally, physically, mentally, what it does to your family. Like, it is actual violence on a person, to be evicted. And I don't wish that on anyone. I said when I ran for office that if there is anything that I could do to prevent other people, especially the people of St. Louis, from going through what I went through, all of those hardships, I would do it. I would put myself out there and do it. So here we are.
She's sleeping on the steps of the Capitol to really make a point, but it shouldn't take that. Right? We should have protections in place just because we're still in the midst of a pandemic. This pandemic isn't over yet.
And Georgia, think about this. When the subprime mortgage hit, America was quick to bail out the big banks, the big corporations. When the pandemic hit, America was quick to bail out the big corporations, the airlines. They were very quick to do it. I get all the ills, and my mother and I talked about this situation, and I think all of us recognize that not everybody is in a situation. There are some people who, on the other side, as renters, are clearly going to take advantage of this system. I get that. But trust and believe, there were big corporations that took advantage of the system. And what did we do? We came right back and we bailed them all out. So when you want to look at the ills of what maybe some renters would do, that it's not even a comparison to the ills of what greedy-ass corporate America has done time and time again. And every time, those corporations who are capitalistic in nature, who want to maintain all of the profits, but they want to always, and the emphasis always and all are very dangerous terms, but they always want to share the debt. They want to become socialists when it comes to their debt. And so now in a situation where you listen to the representative talk about her own personal experience, when the Biden administration knew that this was coming, they knew what the Supreme Court was going to do. How much effort did the Biden administration, and then they say some Democrats left. Some Democrats. I look at all Democrats because right now, look at who is in charge, who has the power to affect this so that these people are not displaced from their homes. Because trust and believe, when Democrats and Republicans were in office and they needed to protect capital, big corporations, they hesitated zero to do it. So this is an abomination against the Biden administration. Don't tell me about some Democrats. Don't tell me about what the Supreme Court did, because we have watched time and time again what America does when the big, greedy, wealthy corporations do. And then when they get the money, Georgia, understand what these corporations do. They give their CEOs big bonus. They take the money and they use it to increase the value of their shares for their shareholders. They take care of everybody within their circles. But now we have an opportunity to take care of ours, just the average everyday American. And now Democrats and members of Congress can't seem to get this through when they knew that this deadline was coming at the end of July. It is a absolute sham. It's a shame. And the Democratic Party needs to be held accountable, because trust and believe, if negative 45 was in office and this happened, we'd be screaming racism to the top of our lungs. Well, we need to be screaming accountability to the Biden administration to the top of our lungs behind this situation.
That's right. And I'm hearing we actually have Ben on the line. I believe he's called in here. Ben, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this as well.
Good morning, Georgia. Good morning, Dr. Mack. How are you this morning?
Good, my brother.
Doing good.
I don't know if my microphone was on in the background, but I've been in the background just shouting, preach, 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 because the two of you are spitting the absolute truth as it pertains to these evictions. And I appreciate you all covering it with so much in-depth coverage. Brother Mack, I absolutely have enjoyed listening to you yesterday and today as you follow the radical truth about the moral implications of this eviction crisis and try to balance it out with the economic implications of this eviction crisis. And I love your synthesis where you came at the end. You're like, listen, Why aren't these landlords working with the renters? There is a solution. There is money. And there's a way that we can help ourselves in the midst of the Biden administration, Democrats and Republicans abdicating their responsibility to take care of the people in the middle of a pandemic. That said, I love the solutions that you guys have on the table about the information, Georgia. Thank you for sharing that information because I didn't know it myself.
Absolutely. And Ben, I understand you've been on the road doing some campaigning, I believe, for Nina Turner. Where can you give us an update on how that went and where her campaign is today?
Yeah, so today is the race, the Ohio 11th district. The race is between quite a few Democrats. The top two are Nina Turner, who has been a national fierce force of righteousness. And Shontel Brown, I'm sure Shontel Brown is a dynamic, phenomenal woman. I don't know her personally. I do know Nina Turner personally. And that's why I drove up. I wasn't getting in one of those airplanes for during this Delta variant, to be honest with you. So I drove up and we campaigned and we canvassed and I got a lot of beautiful photos. It was such a great energy in the 11th district of Ohio. Maybe I was feeling nostalgic because I found out that's where my entire family comes from. So while I don't personally live in the 11th district, my grandmother and my grandparents on both sides, my mother's side and my father's side, met and married and had children and were buried through the 11th district. And wow. And I went to a family reunion. It was an impromptu. They threw an impromptu family reunion for me and a birthday party for my uncle. And everybody there, with the exception of one, supports Nina Turner. Well, they all support Nina Turner. One had an issue with Nina. And I think it's an issue that's pertinent to this race in a very significant fashion. She said she was worried about Nina. She said she didn't like to see Nina out there talking as fiercely as she does because she recognizes that's the Cleveland in her. She said the Cleveland black women don't play no games. But there's a price to be paid when you speak like that. And she's just been so nervous for Nina Turner. And I asked the sister, who's my cousin through marriage, and I said, well, cuz, it sounds like you like the exact thing that frustrates you about Nina Turner. She said, oh, I love it. It's just not okay. It's just not safe for black people to speak truth to power the way Nina Turner does.
Well, Ben, you need to remind your cousin that it ain't safe for black folks to kneel and protest. It ain't safe for us to do a lot of things. And because you and I both love that movie 300, remember what the wife said to her warrior husband: either come back with your shield or come back on the shield. Remember what
Come on, somebody.
Said. I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. I love the fact that Sister Turner evokes such power, such passion. And even when we're talking about this situation of the eviction notices, look at the group who was standing up. And George, I want to just applaud you and all of the sisters. I want to applaud you for bringing this conversation to our community. I want to commend Cori Bush, Representative Bush, for bringing this issue to our community. I want to commend Nina Turner for speaking truth to power about this issue. AOC. Why is it that we're seeing, it's not a surprise to me that we're seeing sisters who bring not only thoughtfulness and leadership, but bring a moral courage to this situation that we're in. And so, Ben, one of the things I'd like for you to do is, that I got introduced to Sister Nina Turner on this program, and I want to thank you so much for introducing me to her. And as a result, I made a pledge to her campaign. I think it was a maximum pledge. So they've been sending me emails. But as far as I know, the amount that I pledged was the maximum that I could have pledged. So please let them know that if I haven't answered their emails with a donation, a further donation, is because I think I'm capped out.
You maxed out.
Yeah. Hey, no, they know, and actually we laughed about it. Me and one of her assistants that works on her campaign, because it was just good. They saw the donation and they love when you say like it or not.
Make no mistake about it, and to understand, when a sister is speaking such truth to power. So to your cousin, about what she's concerned about.
Well, let me finish how the conversation ended, because I didn't leave it there with my cousin. Towards the end, at the end of the conversation, they all glowed. They all were like beaming over the fact that a sister who's so righteous from Cleveland, from the 11th district, from the soul of Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland is black as it gets, man. There was so much energy there and the history there. Dr. Mack, we're going to probably talk about 3 or 4 hours about the conversation I had with a white historian who understood the nuances of Juneteenth, but somehow managed to vote for Donald Trump. We got to have that conversation one day. But everybody in that city that I talked to, they understood, including my cousin, that Nina has a job in front of her, which is to speak truth to power, even the power structure of the Democratic Party. And that's what they were afraid of. But how many times, you said it, how many times in history has our family been afraid and our family members and our ancestors been afraid, but they stood?
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. And the thing that I absolutely adore, I'm sorry, George, but, the other thing I want to say, Ben, is, it's one thing for people to reach out to you and ask for donations. But, I had a chance to actually speak to Sister Turner, and she asked me, how did you come to find out about me? And I said, listen, I absolutely love, adore, and respect Ben to the utmost. And the way that Ben spoke about you and her representative spoke about her, and to know that she is running against the big power money structure, and yet have these people on their heels, and that she has the best interest of black folk in her heart and spirit. I say, sister, that's why I don't have to know you. I just got so much respect for him. And when he talked about your body of work, I knew that it's one thing to just simply talk about it. It's another thing to move to action. And very few times can I hear about a sister like Nina Turner, and it moves me to action. She moved me to action, and please, I wish her all the best. Not only wishing her the best, but I gave her my best. So,
well, and what I was going to say too is in moving to action, I think, Ben, we've seen you move to action in driving across the country to support her. And I understand that you have, relatives that are from the area, but ultimately, she won't necessarily represent you. And so I'm just curious if you can share with us, what is it that compelled you to drive, several hours to her city, to show up for her, to canvass for her? What is your why in why you're showing up for Nina Turner? And I think in sharing that, it will help the audience have clarity on why they should get behind her too.
Oh, man, Georgia, thank you so much for that question, because it really crystallizes rather. I know personally, in a microcosm kind of way, because what I do with this show and what everyone is experiencing and what I do on Twitter and my platform, Georgia, heck, you're a high profile flyer. You fly high too. And as you fly at these altitudes, Brother Mac, you fly at this altitude. When we fly at certain altitudes as black people, we confront wickedness in high places. I'm not going to say spiritual wickedness, because these are real people we got to talk to. They're wicked people in high places that come after you to destroy you. And then I started feeling sorry for myself, but then I saw what they were doing to Nina, and I just reached out to her because we hadn't talked in a while since the 2020 campaign, and she just, not to share all of her personal stuff, but I just heard the sincerity, and I heard the conviction, and I heard that she was going through way more than I could ever imagine. And I'm asking myself, why is she putting herself in this line of fire like this? And it's the same reason I do it. The same reason you do it. It's the same reason you do it, Brother Max. The same reason our ancestors did it. It's because it's necessary. She's putting her life on the line because it's necessary. And she's flying at an altitude where she's taking incoming fire from everywhere. She's taking it from the Democratic Party. They're questioning her blackness. One of the first ads I saw in Cleveland was an ad attacking her because she did not consider her vote for Joe Biden to be something she could be excited about. But she voted for him anyway because she knew we had to get rid of Donald Trump. But it was not good enough. There are ads all over Cleveland making it seem like she's not sufficient because she didn't support Joe Biden enthusiastically. I didn't support Joe Biden enthusiastically. I voted for him, and I lost a lot of support because I did. That said, we are dealing in a time in history where black folks are having to distinguish themselves from the Democratic Party in a substantive fashion. And Nina Turner is one of the only black people who said, well, hell, I'm up for the challenge. So that's why I support her.
Absolutely. And Ben, even when I spoke to her, I too felt that, first of all, I trust my gift of discernment, and just from listening and then researching just a little bit about the sister, let alone speaking to her, you feel that truthfulness in her. And there are very few politicians, very few. And I like to say that I don't think that Sister Turner is a politician. I don't think that Representative AOC is a politician. These are states ladies. These are people who care about the people. So I'm not going to call them politicians. I know a lot of sorry-ass politicians who will do and say what they need to get into power. These are states ladies. AOC, Sister Bush that we just heard, Sister Turner, people who care about it. And do not forget, Sister Bush, we just sat there and watched that clip of her. Now that she's elected, could very easily be sleeping in the comforts of her home, but instead she remembers what she ran on. She remembers her experience, and she brings that to her leadership. That is the exact embodiment of what I heard with Sister Turner that just pulled my soul and said to me, Carl, I know hypocrisy when I see it. So it's one thing to talk about it. It's another thing to be about it. And so, again, as Sister Ford said, I so applaud you for making that 10-hour drive from, I'm assuming, however long it was, but I certainly applaud you for making that drive. I know what it was to get up and do it. And I just thank you. And please give Sister Turner all of our
likewise.
And Georgia, before I get out of here, I want to thank y'all for keeping me company on a lot of the trip. The 3 hour, the 2.5 hours that you all sit in the show and do what you do. It's the best way to ride in the car. I tell you that much. So Georgia and Brother Mac, thank y'all so much for holding it down.
Much love,
Brandon. Thank you for creating this platform. Really quick before you go, how can other people support Nina Turner? I know it's not too late.
Well, you know what? The campaign is, the election is today. If you're in the 11th district, if you know someone in the 11th district, if you got somebody who knows somebody that knows somebody about something about the 11th district, hit them up on social media, text your cousins and them. I'm texting all of my cousins. I got like 40, 50 cousins in the 11th district. I'm texting them all to get up and go vote. I hope everyone can do the same.
Thank you so much, Ben. And we are on the clock. Ben, as you can hear, is still on the road, so we're filling in for him. And up next is Anoa Chonka. So stay around for more on The Benjamin Dixon Show.
Good morning, people. Welcome again to the Benjamin Dixon Show, y'all. Welcome. We hope y'all enjoy the show thus far. Shout out to Georgia, Fort, and Dr. Mac in the building holding it down. Make sure that you stay tuned. Sister Anoa Chonka is coming up next, y'all, followed by Like It or Not. So stay tuned. Good morning.
Feel it in my body, feel it in my feet, and it feels so good inside. And I always wanna feel like this. I close my eyes and all the troubles fade away. Your whispers get so deep into me, but tonight I won't let you down.
Good morning, y'all. Good morning, everybody. We hope that y'all are doing good this morning, y'all. Make sure that you stay tuned. Matter of fact, we're going to go ahead. Actually, we'll wait till our next break to get that in. Infinite content, I will. Infinite Content says, Bubba, tell her Noah she still can't get her dad that replica bat lift. She'll know what I mean. LOL. I'll make sure I read it again for Infinite Content. Ear Hustler, good morning. Oh, I hear it. See, this is why we need a studio, ladies and gentlemen. Your support going to patreon.com/likeitnornot. Patreon.com/likeitnornot will help us and get rid of these choppinesses that we have. Good morning, y'all. Yes, of course, two different systems that we're using. So this morning is on a different system through Zoom. So of course, that's why you get that choppiness that you're hearing right now. Because see, I'm not talking and it's still chopping.
I'm crying out behind a mask, so give me something for the pain. I want to lose myself again. Please get out of my mind. Just get out of my
what
sight. Let me go one day. Let me lose myself. Oh, I knew how this would end.
Yes, much better because that's coming from a different signal. Y'all see what I'm saying? There it is. So make sure that y'all stay tuned, y'all. Make sure that you stay tuned.
That we would say goodbye. Someone help me free this feeling.
All right.
Someone help me free this feeling.
All right, y'all. Here we go. Coming up to the screen, our sister from another Mr. Noah Chunga. Good morning, Noah.
Good morning. How are y'all doing today? Good tunes, good vibes. I hope everyone's doing well this Tuesday morning. I am awake and here with you, so I guess I'm doing well too. Today is Black Women's Equal Pay Day. Whoop! I guess we're gonna get some equal pay today. Not really, but I wanted to start off there just for a few minutes because we are still in the middle of a global pandemic, whether the powers that be are acknowledging it or not. And this notion of Equal Pay Day, right? It takes approximately 18 months or so for Black women to earn the same amount that white men earn within a 365-day period, or approximately 18 months, right? Black women on average earn about 63 cents on the dollar, give or take. Black and Latino men also earn less than white men. And in some measurements, depending upon what you look at, Black and Latino men are even less earning less than white women. So equal pay is a both racial and gender justice issue in many respects. But one of the things that I thought really was interesting about Equal Pay Day, and I should have a longer in-depth piece about this up on news1.com later on today. But one thing I thought that was interesting this year was the fact that we have, we have this pandemic that has sent so many people out of the workforce for various reasons, whether it's having to deal with childcare. There's also these statistics that Black and Latino moms have had to spend, several hours more on childcare than their white counterparts. So when we talk about disproportionality, right, when we talk about disparate impacts, it's great to talk about equal pay, but there's so many other things that are going along with equal pay, right? Like Black women tend to be more overly represented in service industry jobs, which are less likely to have not just a certain level of pay, whether equal or otherwise, but also are least likely to have things like secured scheduling and paid sick leave and paid leave, period. And, that whole bucket of just PTO is a scam. You should give me my vacation time. You should give me my sick leave separately. Those are two different things. Don't be trying to say, oh, it's all just one bucket. Use it as you wish, because you tend to get shorted, I think. I don't know what y'all think about PTO as in one big bucket. But I really do think that when we're talking about these different economic issues, we look at the interrelated nature it has with some of these other elements that also directly impact the economic and social well-being of Black women and their families. And so when we're thinking about even this conversation around the infrastructure, right? The infrastructure bill. So the bipartisan infrastructure bill, there's actually a bill now that they're trying to work through and get all the votes in the Senate. House is still on vacay, hey, the country's falling apart, but we're chilling. We're on vacay for several weeks. But there is the other infrastructure proposal that Biden had put out back in, I think it was the American Jobs Plan, the American Families Plan, right? So that is that includes the provisions around the care economy. That includes more of a human infrastructure focus. And that's really the type of investment that we need if we're going to talk about things like equal pay day. So, thinking about, just some of the issues that we've been seeing. I mean, even the backlog in unemployment benefits across the country. I mean, unemployment systems have already been, having backlogs. They're severely outdated and they're not properly, they're not able to process properly. There's an over concern. I think in some ways, related to when we think about people going for welfare benefits too, there's too much focus on potential fraud. There really isn't as many people trying to defraud the system as the system would like you to believe, but there's so much fixation on making it difficult to prevent this, possible amount of fraud that may or may not even exist. I mean, I guess that's similar to voting rights too, right? We need to put these restrictions in place to prevent voter fraud, which is virtually non-existent, and making it unnecessarily difficult for people to access something that should be available to them. And so in thinking about Women's Equal Pay Day, whether it's Black Women's Equal Pay Day, Latina Equal Pay Day, Native American Women's Equal Pay Day, whatever equal pay day it is. I mean, when we talk about Asian American women, they always say oh, Asian American women make more. So that's in the story. No, when we say Asian, that's I don't know, several dozen different cultures and languages and ethnicities. And so we overshadow, we don't break it down and look at Filipino women are more likely to be in XYZ types of positions and have, Vietnamese women, Hmong women, it really, there needs to be a broader conversation beyond the equal pay. And so it was 20 months. I thought it was 18. It's even more. I got to work even longer. This is why I quit the YouTube gang, because I was never going to it's going to take me so many more hours to even get a fraction of what white men on YouTube get. No, I'm just joking. But seriously, though, when we're talking about having equal pay, it's also these other attributes that allow women, particularly Black women in this instance, to be able to realize their full potential within whatever workforce it is they choose. The last thing I'll say about equal pay, and we'll turn to my next cute little subject before we get to the Benjamin guest appearance, is that, there are also, when we talk about equal pay, also looking at small businesses, the way in which people are investing in small businesses, supporting small businesses, and not just from the consumer side. People are like, oh, buy Black, and that's great. But when we look at the support of angel investors and the way the back end financial mechanisms are supporting people, I mean, there are huge disparities there too. So thinking about equal pay is not just how do we collect this check and make sure it's equitable for everyone getting a job. I think the last thing I'll add is I'm very thankful for folks who always, I don't know about y'all, when you get a job, if you negotiate, but you should always negotiate, ask for more money than what they offer you, because they usually have some wiggle room. And when I first was told to do that, I've done it every time ever since. And I've always gotten either exactly where I want it. Like, you might have your secret, like, this is my bottom line goal, but you go a bigger number. And then when you get it, you'd be like, yeah, okay, I got you where I want you. But always, because oftentimes women in particular, Black and other women of color, do not try to negotiate, but they say men will often, just think to ask. And that's something that I know a lot of us have not been socialized and taught. So that is what I have to say on Equal Pay Day. Hopefully, like I said, I'll have an article later this afternoon for if folks want to read it and find out some more. The other thing that was really woke up with on my mind was this thing with DaBaby. Now, whether you're a big rap fan, I'm a rap fan, but more so like, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. I listen to some of the newer stuff, kicking it with my kids. But this thing with DaBaby and DaBaby's apology about his homophobic, it's not even that it was misinformed. It was just really straight ignorant commentary on like AIDS. And I mean, it was so much going on. And it wasn't just the one statement he did in one festival on one stage. There was a video that like regurgitated a bunch of that BS too. Like he kept doubling down, right? And the apology, like, this is Preston. This is a tweet from Preston Mitchum, who is actually the director of advocacy and government accountability, I believe, for the Trevor Project. The Trevor Project is an organization that works with young queer people, in particular around mental health. And so, some of the backlash to the DaBaby backlash has been, it's just the white gay community is making this a big deal. And, this is just because he's Black. Or some people are even like, well, Eminem, if this was Eminem, y'all clearly do not remember when Eminem got in trouble. And Sir Elton John, who also came out and made comments this time about DaBaby, had to come out and they had to have that whole powwow. And it's a whole big thing when they perform together and stuff. But like Eminem got called on his stuff a lot back in the day, and his homophobic stuff, and that was a different time too, right? Like it's not as much of a widely recognized advocacy issue then as it is now. Like people were starting to understand why it was important, but I really think that this issue with DaBaby, like the bigger issue, which is something the Black AIDS Institute had actually raised. The Black AIDS Institute is I believe it is the only Black-led organization that is like expressly focused on HIV and AIDS awareness, education, and support. And so, we are 40 years, June, I think it was June 5th, marked the 40th anniversary of the first recognized AIDS, diagnoses or documented cases. They found out actually several years later that there had been an earlier case in the United States in the late 60s, actually in Missouri. It was a young Black boy around 15 that had some unknown illness and just died. And they tested his cells and stuff years later and discovered that he had actually had AIDS. So like so much of what we know and still don't even know about its origination, like has been distorted because of the way the information has been provided from the outset, right? So when we think back to the CDC just initially documenting AIDS cases, like the initial documentation focused only on 5 white gay men. It left out, there were 2 other Black men. There were some Black women like a few years after that like these are people who were left out of the literature. So we're talking about the racism in this conversation. The racism is really the erasure of Black experience, whether queer or cis or whatever, that has been heavily impacted by a disease that has been a huge factor for, as long as many of us have been alive. And so what the Black AIDS Institute and other advocacy organizations are using in this moment is, yes, we have someone who's super ignorant, no matter how much he tries to say, don't be mad at me because I didn't know better. Dude, it's 2021. Google is free. And there has been so much information and awareness happening. But I do think that what this points to, and to the Black AIDS Institute's point, is this is a learning moment. This is a teachable moment. And we talk about organizing our folks. There are some real things that are moving and happening in terms of treatment. I mean, you know, PrEP, a lot of folks talk about how PrEP has been a game changer. Recently, I think it was a federal ruling just made PrEP has to be mandated and available by all insurance for free. Of course, with folks who don't have insurance, there are other mechanisms that people are working on because PrEP is also extremely expensive without insurance. But there's so much that's going on, and this is directly and negatively impacting, you know, Black queer folks. And it's not like queer folks are some separate group. There are Black queer folks. And as, you know, a Black woman in the South raising, you know, queer Black babies into adulthood, having, you know, people who they may listen to for their own entertainment purposes go on these type of tirades. Like, we're not thinking about the kids. People are like, oh, you're trying to make kids not be straight anymore. That's such crap. You know, Lil Boosie or whichever one. I don't know. Some of them have the same exact names. It's hard to keep up these days. But I really just wanted to talk about that because I think it's upon all of us. When we're talking about public health and pandemics, we've, you know, been talking about the COVID-19 pandemic, you know, for the past year and a half now. But, you know, HIV and AIDS has been a part of the lexicon for, like I said, 4 decades. And we really,
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, sorry,
it's not something that's not our. No, you're fine.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt because David, I didn't know if I was still muted or not. But you know, speaking from the community, I want to say you're bringing up a lot of great points, and I really appreciate you for bringing this up. It is great to have this conversation because a lot of people forgot that there's another pandemic still going on, and that's HIV and AIDS. So we're still out here worried about COVID-19. Let's not forget about the HIV/AIDS pandemic. And then there are also plenty of resources that people have that we can do for PrEP as well too, and to get on that PrEP as well. So that's a great thing as well too. So thank you. Shout out to Anoa. I'm good now. Bye, y'all.
I appreciate you for saying that, and thank you so much. And now I just checked and see it's time to bring Ben on to come and talk to us a little bit about what's happening on the ground. I'm gonna work on my transitions, but it's time to bring Ben on to talk to us about I'm rusty, but it's time to bring Ben on to talk about what's happening in Cleveland. Ben is on the ground. Today is the day. Today is general election day or primary election day in the Ohio special election for the 11th congressional district to replace Marcia Fudge, who is now Secretary of HUD. It's a really interesting district. I know it covers a large portion of Cleveland and some of Akron. It's a very gerrymandered district as well. But it also covers, there's some rural areas mixed in there. I remember when Secretary Fudge was making her case to be ag secretary. She was actually talking about some of the farmland that exists in that district as well. So Ben, are you there? I know Ben was on earlier.
Yes, no, I'm here. I'm sorry. I had myself on mute.
No, you're fine. There he goes. Ben, what it do? I know you were saying the other day that basically your whole family lives in this district and you were ready to fight folks if you had to. So what's going on the ground?
Well, no, I wasn't. See, that's the thing, Noah. I wasn't going to fight my family over Nina. I love Nina Turner. She my sister. But I didn't know what to expect. But when I got there, I was so pleased to find out that they see her the same way I see her, and they see her as family. So first thing is, it's hella Black in Cleveland. Cleveland is 1991 Motown Philly Boys to Men Black. This is how we do it. Montel Jordan Black. It's Frankie Beverly and Mays Black, and it is Black Liberation Black. The folks up there, they
Bone Thugs and Harmony Black.
Come on, somebody. Hello, somebody.
They're from Cleveland.
Exactly. So here's the thing: is like, that's Nina Turner. And when I went to her event on Saturday, I tell you, man, I had to contain myself. I didn't want to look like a fool out there just having such a good time, but the energy was high. There were Black folks, white folks, Latino, indigenous people. Everybody came out to support her. And so it's a question of turnout at this point because she's got the love of the city, and we just need people to go out to the polls today.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I know that if folks have voted by mail, their ballots were actually due by mail yesterday. They had to be postmarked by yesterday, and they have to be received within, I think it's like 5 or 7 days or something like that to be counted. So there could be some vote by mail ballots, the absentee ballots that they're still waiting on, but we will see if we have some results later on this evening. I don't know, brother Carl, I talked a whole lot and then let you get on here. Do you have anything for Ben or just about this race happening?
No, again, I was quick to contribute to Sister Turner's campaign. I wish her all the best. Even when you look at the picture of her with the backdrop and the raised fist, she just embodies a sister who cares about our community, is going to do well for our people. But the other part that I love is there should be a clear sign to all of the folks in Cleveland. When you have a big money power structure mounting a battle against a sister or brother who speaks truth to power, that's the picture. That's the iconic picture that just so embodies her. But that should be a call sign to so many people. Why is it that the big power structure, the status quo, wants to fight against her and coming out so strong against her? Because they know that sister represents the one word that, from a political standpoint, that we all want: change. She represents change. And so I wish that sister all the best. And I've certainly given her personally all my best. And Ben, again, we thank you so much for traveling from Atlanta up to Cleveland to help support that sister and give her the love from the crew from the Benjamin Dixon Show.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it, Ben. So, what is on the agenda for today? What will you be doing while you're there?
Well, truthfully, Tro, I'm back in Georgia. I just dropped off. I literally just dropped off the rental car just while I was talking to you all. That's why I was delayed. So it took me a little while to get back, but. I did get a chance to speak with Senator Turner yesterday, and she was just kind of telling me about how she's feeling, and she's feeling the love and the support, and she's really grateful for the team that has been on the ground, and she's tired. She is tired because she's taking incoming fire from everywhere. Noah, you know this personally, right? You and Marcus Farrow, you know what happens when you stand against. You not even stand against so much as stand up for what we believe, which is different than what the Democratic establishment believes. And that's okay. But when we did those things and you stood up for it, you got attacked. I never forget they came after you in the Atlantic Journal-Constitution, right? Questioning your Americanism, right? And this is the kind of stuff that Nina has been taking for the last since 2016 at least.
It is really interesting. Go ahead, Brother Cowher.
And that's nothing new. It's absolutely nothing new. So one of the things I would say, Brother Ben, in regards to that, anytime that a person who wants to speak truth to power and understand the servitude of leadership when positions like this, understand when you go in that fight, you don't wear white to that fight. You about to get in a pig pen, whether you want to or not. It's going to get ugly. It's going to get nasty. It's going to get personal, because that is what happens when people are seduced by power. They will use anything at their disposal to discredit you. So whenever any of us decides that we want to go into politics, and I should say any of y'all, because trust and believe, there's so much shit in my closet. There's no way I could ever run for political office, and I don't care to do it. So, but just keep in mind that sister may be weary, but she's strong, and she's ready. She's built for that fight. Let them bring it on, because when I did speak with Sister Turner, she very much sounded prepared to deal with the onslaught that the big establishment was bringing to her. So just know that that's part of the game. She's built for that game.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to be a tremendous representative for us and bringing our voice to light.
Yeah. And that's what my cousins were like. She got that grit of East Cleveland. And she's a East Cleveland sister. My cousin called her a Cleveland chick. Now, I can't call her that, but she's an East Cleveland sister, and she's got that grit and that determination. So that's where we are, Noah.
Yeah. Well, Ben, we're so glad that you're back home safely. That's for sure. But Sister Noah, one of the other things I want to do on that whole equal pay thing is, I want to put it in perspective about equal pay, if I can just change back to that for a minute. That means that a sister in this country has to work 579 days to make what a white man would make. And when you start thinking about compensation from its most elementary standpoint, compensation is a value proposition. So clearly this country is telling us what value proposition they place on women, in particular Black women. And then the same with us as men. I know that, and I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm a mechanical engineer by education. My ex-wife was a chemical engineer by education, FAMU graduate. And I promise you, I looked at the transcripts of my wife, my ex-wife. Trust and believe, I'll say it again, she ain't the smartest person I ever dealt with. I mean, the smartest woman I ever dealt with. She is literally one of the smartest people I've ever seen in my life. And for, when we started our family, when you start thinking about when us as Black men start thinking about women holding down that household, I was out on that road doing the things I can do to protect and provide. But the soul and the foundation of our family was what my ex-wife did in placing her career just slightly on hold. And it was a decision that we both made. Clearly I wasn't about to tell her, no, you got to put your career on hold. But that was the decision that we made as a family. And she continued on. She just simply worked from home while also raising our two boys. And trust and believe, for any of us as men, if you want to discount that contribution to the family, you try staying home and dealing with the children and letting the wife go out and work. You'll find out just how challenging that situation is.
Brother Mac, I'm laughing because I found that out myself personally when we moved to Boston. We moved to Boston for my wife and for her job at Harvard. And I stayed at home, called myself going to be a stay-at-home dad. I took the first overnight shift. At my disposal, Doc. So it is a contribution. Not only in the household, but also in the level of intelligence and professionalism that our Black women have had to demonstrate to survive. And I love the way you frame that. So that's it. I just want to chime in on that.
Hey, look, man, I'm just telling you my truth. I'll say this here. I may not be the smartest brother around, but at least I was smart enough to understand what her contribution was and never, ever in any shape, form, or fashion discounted it. None whatsoever. And I think that is what this whole equal pay situation is about. It's about the fact that America is discounting the role of women that women bring to it. And when you start talking about, even when you got into Sister Noah, about public assistance and the amount of fraud, and people want to look at, how much fraud is being committed. Again, I always want to remind America, when you want to start poking and prodding about fraud, think about the fraud that is committed on Wall Street. Shall I give you the name? Bernie Madoff, the largest Ponzi scheme ever. Can I tell you about Wells Fargo and what Wells Fargo was doing in the arena of fraud? You can go down the list of any issue that you want to get in. But see, when it comes to the individual person, when they want to talk about public assistance, now you want to bring up every situation of fraud. Nobody was bringing up fraud about corporate America when they were giving out those big corporate donations, too big to fail, when all of a sudden these big PPP loans are going to corporations. Nobody is talking about the fraud that is taking place in public in these big corporations. So I just simply want to remind folks that when we have discussions like this, there's a balance to all of it. And in this case, when it comes to fraud, let that not be the issue. Because again, for us to be the richest country, arguably, to ever grace this planet, and have situations where folks can be homeless, evicted on the second phase of a pandemic, education not being there was a time when America ranked at the very top of the list for education, and now we're nowhere near the top. I don't even know if we're in the top 20 in the world right now for education. So, situations like that have to be reminded of, because trust and believe, when corporate America needs their assistance, and again, they want to privatize the profits, but they want to socialize the debt. And when it comes to socializing the debt, America is real quick to give the rich and greedy all of what they need.
Oof. Brother Mac, you always speak truth. That's why we keep you around. We lost to Noah. Hey, everyone, this is David. We lost to Noah. Ben, I think you're still there. Unfortunately, we're having technical difficulties with DJ Exclusive, and Noah's internet, unfortunately, has failed us. So we're going to go to a music break. Dwayne, if you can pitch that in, and then hopefully Rebecca's internet is starting to work again so that we can all come back for Like It or Not.
That's Atlanta internet. We'll be back.
Hey, David, can you hear me?
I'm in sync with the earth. 10 toes deep, flower child from the turf. I never switch sides, like even when I die, I'm a ride for the squad, ladder ties in the hearse. I've been on the vibe, kinda hard to describe. I'm in between, I'm good and it's fine, but I'm tired of the grind. Then I come alive in the night to realize I'm in the middle of the time of my life. I never so packed for the stack, never lied on the rap. Got a bag from the way that I write it. Queen looking Tyson, do that ass survive, doing 80 to the house. Then I hit into the sky, change haters on a tirade. Talking to the crib in the face, be still, let that hate stuff fade. We all want the same, we all want a meal in the safe. I wanna live like I'm trying to reach enlightenment. Trail spill from my lips, feel big from the bib. Take a sip till I pass out. Try and get grit, but it don't make sense. Cause you can lose life on this fast route. Yeah, turn thoughts to a cash cow. I might flip that to the glass house. I don't need the accolades, I'm in love with the chase. I just wanna eat, save a spot at the table. Beats with the slap, pin myself on the map. You long with the wind, but we knowing that it's capped. 5-hour flights, couple nights at the flat.
All right, y'all. Atlanta internet is on one today. Jesus, I don't know what's going on. My whole system is shut down like twice. Rebecca got internet problems. Sister Noah's having internet problems. My gosh. They don't want us to be great today, but that's okay. We still gonna find a damn way, like it or not. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. We got Rebecca coming up in a minute. If she can get her internet working as well, too. Like I said, we chock full of issues this morning, but thankfully Dwayne is in the background playing tunes for me today, so I get to chill and talk. Hey!
Told y'all to move on up here to Maryland. Y'all can all come on up here. I got good internet. I even got a studio space down the road that we can use, so come on down there. Come on up here.
Dwayne, you ain't said nothing but a word. I'll be on the way in a minute. I'm already sick of Atlanta as it is. Good morning again, y'all. While we are waiting for Rebecca to come on and Like It or Not to start, we're going to go ahead and get these patrons named off this morning. So we have Reggie H, Jeremiah S, new Twitch subscribers. We have Sierra Christine, Siskiyou Cat resubscribed and been subscribed for 11 months. Shout out to the sister. The One Wing Dragon resubscribed. Murderino Dragon resubscribed. Siskiyou Cat gifted a subscription to Fizzy Gizzy. Mimosa Dragon gifted one community subscription. Shout out to Mimosa Dragon. An anonymous gifter gifted subscriptions. All right, anonymous gifter. That's like an anonymous gifter gifted subscriptions to Stallion 5817, Wilco 93, K7 Bone S, Richie 26K, Fire X Scratch, new for you, David Denton and Austin Couston. Jesus. Siskiyou Cat cheer 200 bits, Mimosa Dragon cheer 200 bits, and Stallion 5817 cheered 1,100 bits, man. Shout out to all our followers and everybody on Twitch, man, YouTube, wherever you're streaming from. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We mean it. And you too can also become a member of Patreon, patreon.com/like it or not, patreon.com/like it or not. Y'all make sure that you stay tuned. Like It or Not is coming up next, man. Good morning, everybody on YouTube. I see y'all as well, too. Roll calls coming up. And now.
It's my time to ride it out. It's my time to ride it. I'm young.
Yep, I got you.
Nat A, good morning. Melanie, good morning. Roadrunner. Brother Goku, good morning. KLZ 24/7. Brother Chuck Diesel, what's going on? Chuck Jam tuned as well on Twitch as well. Pixie on the Moon, good morning. Alicia, good morning. Shoot the Dragon, good morning. Mama and Daddy, I love y'all. Mean it. Come on, smooch it. Love you, Mama.
My destiny, and you can see whatever from behind me, but
on and on it goes. Good morning, Brother Tiger, Adam, Sunny, Environmental Coffee House, Kareem, good morning.
Still flying, let's go.
Jago, good morning. Courtney, the SLP, good morning. Tractor Tasha, good morning. Lily, Shelby Hall, Marco Antonio, good morning. Mark S, Brother Mark S, good morning, sir.
Say it with your chest now, say it with your
Afraid not, good morning. Smaya Caron, good morning. Ooh, did I miss anybody? Six Dragon Daddy, what's going on? Good morning. Mark S said, is the Atlanta internet in the infrastructure bill? Asking for a friend. I sure the hell hope so, because this is some BS this morning. It really was. Susan, good morning to you. Courtney, the SLP. Sweet Patricia, good morning, Patricia. Rhonda Smith, good morning.
It's my time to ride it out.
E. Smith, good morning.
It's my time to ride it out. It's your time.
Shout out to everybody.
If you're on the train, say yeah.
Shout out to everybody that's streaming from Twitch right now as well to y'all. Good morning. Facebook people, good morning, my Facebook followers. Good morning.
Life has never really been fair. So put your fist up in the air. Say yeah.
Almira, good morning. Deborah John, good morning. Major Marjorie Lemons, good morning. Janice, good morning. Larry Davis, good morning. Shout out to everybody on Facebook. Let's see if I can get on over to Twitch real quick. Well, we got a few seconds. We're still waiting for the sister from another mister to get in. Like I said, that internet is tripping as usual.
Nobody take me here and now. It's my time to
I am now in the Twitch chat room. Shout out everybody. Jam Tune, good morning. Choir 185, good morning, y'all. Good morning, good morning. Musu, good morning. Steam Elements, good morning. Shout out to everybody that's on the chat room. Hey, man, Dwayne playing all the hits this morning. Sammy Lynn, the Kind Dragon, good morning.
Baby, you set my soul on fire.
Zivis X, good morning to you.
And every evening, and maybe we
Rachel Letney, good morning, good morning. Mark Monkey, good morning to you.
discover what we're hiding. Making you move, it sure looks good.
Zen Cyclist, I see you. Good morning, good morning.
Oh, you should. Gonna smile, that's one of a kind.
Okay, I'm trying to send something. Let's see what I'm sending.
And I can't get you off my mind. I'm running too hot, I need to cool me down. I'm flying so high, I don't see the ground.
Good morning, Jam Tune. Good morning. I'm looking at the thing trying to see. Lawsuit, good morning to you.
I don't see the ground. Baby, you set my soul on fire.
Good morning to everybody, y'all. Shout out to everybody that's streaming this morning. We greatly appreciate y'all. Love y'all so much. Make sure if you have not already, hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and share so you know when like it or not. The Benjamin Dixon Show is going down, y'all. No humanist. Good morning. Ben is on the road in Ohio canvassing for Nina Turner, who is going to win today. Today is Nina Turner Tuesday. Let's get it excited because we know the sister is going to do great things in Ohio this morning, man. Woo, prayers going up. The sister got this, y'all. B, good morning. I was just about to try to fade the music and I forgot, wait a minute, this whole board not even on, bro. All right, y'all, welcome back to the screen. Oh, what am I talking about? Y'all, it's time to start Like It or Not. So like it or not, it's about to go down.
Like It or Not with Benjamin Dixon starts now.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth, whether you
like it or not.
There we go, Dr. Mac. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, Bubba. How you doing?
I'm good. You know, they done messed up. They got us on the screen together at one time, and Rebecca's not here. Ben's not here. It's just me, you, Dwayne, and Davey. They done messed up.
Bubba, you want to talk about the blind? Bubba, you want to talk about the blind leading the blind, bro. We are in trouble.
The blind? And being in the background got like 1% left on his phone, so being gonna come on and his phone just gonna disconnect like the rest of our stuff has been doing.
Yeah,
this morning.
listen, let me start right here because as much as I want to stay for the rest of the episode, I got 5%. Listen, I fell in love with riding bikes in Cleveland, so I didn't bring my car. I'm about to ride my bike the rest of the way home, and my battery's gonna die. But in the meantime, y'all got this under control. We're talking about the blind leading the blind. Did y'all see how Dr. Mack just smoothly, in his smooth way, transitioned? Y'all didn't even know the internet went out because Dr. Mack handled it so well.
Right.
That said, we're in good hands, not with Allstate, but with our brothers.
Right. Ben, how you doing this morning, sir? You good?
Because Dwayne is here in Maryland, and both Dwayne and I, our internet's strong in Maryland. We ain't
Sure is.
chopping things up. That's the only reason. You better give Dwayne all that credit.
Right.
I keep
Dwayne
telling
internet is
them,
carrying
Dr. Mack,
everybody.
They can come on up this way. We can all be together and do studio shows.
Hey, Ben, you heard that?
Got for us
Ben,
today,
why
baby.
we have before your phone dies? What was it like on the ground out there? Like, what's the energy of the people?
Well, real quick, so David, a couple things. David, I could barely hear you. And I'll answer that question. But James, you were trying to ask me a question. Let me answer yours first. What were you saying, James?
I was just saying, how you doing out there this morning? You good?
Oh, so same question. Okay, great. Yeah, no, I'm good, man. I am excited about Nina Turner's race. I'm excited about, more importantly, man, I'm excited about the movement of Black people that's forming across the country that supersedes anything that any establishment. I don't care if they're a Republican establishment or the Democratic establishment. We Black. We think Black. We buy Black. What was the saying? We're putting our Blackness first because America don't hesitate to put our Blackness first economically, politically, in the criminal justice system. So why in the hell are we not putting our Blackness first? And that's the kind of energy I felt in the 11th district.
Good, man. Well, we're glad that
awesome.
you made it back home safely and get suited up and jump on this thing tomorrow with us.
Yes, sir, I will. I'm going to leave it to y'all too, because I now have 2%. So I'm signing off, and I will see you all tomorrow.
All right, brother Ben. Be safe out there in those streets, sir, and don't ride your bike too much, okay?
Yeah, he bounced. He's trying to conserve that energy. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, we can, David. People, can y'all hear David good too?
Ben was saying I was low. Anyway, I'll let you guys lead the conversation unless you want some shots, and we can definitely drop some clips.
Hey, man, order up a clip right now.
Yeah, let's get it.
Now, if you really want crazy, Dwayne, roll C9.
Hey, Bubba, with just you and I here and David back there rolling the clip, we're just going to call this part of the show potpourri. Whatever comes, we just going to get in on it.
We going to get in on it. Dr. Mack, I like that.
All right. Well,
let's
here we
get
go.
it.
We're witnessing for the first time in human history global genocide.
I don't know about y'all, but I can't hear.
No audio.
Compliments
no audio.
of the Church of Satan. The Communist Party is the political arm of the Church of Satan. These people that are running the world are Satanists. They're killing off massive numbers of people.
It's doing exactly what it was created to do. And, this was their plan all along, was to shame the unvaccinated people into thinking that you're killing these other people. But really, it's the truth. It's the vaccinated seem to be carrying whatever this bioweapon is that they're unleashing on all of us. I mean, you went a whole year. I shook 10,000 hands last year on the campaign trail. Didn't catch it. You didn't catch it all last year. It wasn't until people started getting vaccinated, people started getting really sick.
Yes.
So,
and I'm convinced that my infection and the explosion that we had here in our staff, among my family and friends, 20-some people altogether infected suddenly. I believe it came from a vaccinated person coming into this building who was shedding the virus. And I believe that's how it happened.
Dr. Matt, now you do realize these were the same people that were talking about meet us on the field at Gettysburg, right? You know that, right?
DJ, I know, Bubba, I didn't hear her say they trying to shame the unvaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what they said? No, fam.
Saying that.
How about this? Shame the unvaccinated? No, we don't have to do that. See, again, 99.5% of those who have died from COVID were not vaccinated. We don't have to shame nobody. The numbers are telling you that. And then here homeboy talking about, I'm convinced that I got COVID from a vaccinated person. Dude, based on the way you living, you don't know where the hell you got your COVID from. And then to talk about these folks being Satan, did you not look in the mirror and see them two horns sitting on the top of his head, Bubba? Did you not see that?
You know I sure the hell did, Dr. Matt, because that right there was a whole bunch of foolishness. Like, really? And you said, my family, and I think about 20 other people like, well, damn, y'all had a whole outbreak. What? What? And y'all are still here with no mask on and just chilling like nothing wrong. Cool. Okay.
Unbelievable. David, bring up the next clip, man. I'm kind of liking this. We're going to hit it quick, hit it hard, and we're going to keep it moving.
So we because coming up at 9:45 in about 25 minutes. An update on Haiti.
In the meantime, man, play us
in the meantime, if you want to know why that clip kind of gives you some background knowledge on why the Republicans in Congress are acting a fool. Let's go to C4, Dwayne.
And because I think the Democrats love to instill fear in the hearts of Americans. And I think Americans are really sick of this. They're over it. They're not going to comply. And you shouldn't comply with any more lockdowns, with any more mandates, none of it. Well, here in the House, they're trying to fine us and jail us if we're not wearing a mask. These people are crazy.
This is now that she's reinitiated the mask mandate, will you now back down and wear one?
Hell no, I'm not backing down. In fact, I'm not wearing one if she wants to find me again, and we may have more co-litigants in this case, more plaintiffs. I've got people asking if they can join the lawsuit now.
All right, so then she'd probably call you a moron. I mean, that's what she said yesterday.
You know what? A year ago, she called me a dangerous nuisance on national television, so I took it as a compliment. If she had just called me a nuisance, I'd have been offended. But she knows we're effective, and she reinstituted this mask mandate the day after we filed the case in federal court. We'll take it all the way to the Supreme Court if we have to. She's a tyrant and a hypocrite.
Wow, a tyrant, okay? No love lost between the two of you. Listen to the clips.
Oh, my gosh. Dr. Matt.
Bubba, he said, we'll take it all the way to the Supreme Court. No, fool. Don't wear your mask. Don't get vaccinated. You're going to take that shit to your grave.
To the grave?
That's what you're going to do. Don't worry about the damn Supreme Court. Your ass going to take that right to the grave. Go ahead.
And then all my nerds out there, y'all know what I'm about to say. Deathstroke in the background, talking noise as well, too, with the patch on. I'm just like, okay. You know what? He looks just like Deathstroke. Dwayne, David, I don't know if y'all watch Batman like that, but Jesus, man. Okay, I can't. It's these people are so confused. It's just not confused. It's just stupid. I don't understand it.
Hey, Bubba,
I just don't get it.
He said they're trying to instill fear in us. The Democrats are trying to instill fear in us. Listen, man, let's just go party aside. And I just want you to just imagine this, that you got a gun, somewhere you got a gun, and this thing holds 100 bullets. And all we're going to take is one bullet out. That's all. Just one bullet is coming out. Now you spin the chamber and you play a game of Russian roulette. I'm not putting fear in you. The Democrats ain't putting fear in you. Man, you better start recognizing COVID and his twin. See, that's the problem. COVID and his twin is to be like, look, what the hell you mean the Democrats? They ain't got nothing to do. We don't give a damn about party. We don't care about religion. We coming to get your ass. That's what we coming to do. So if you want to start talking about instilling fear, COVID is letting you know, I'm one of them 99 problems that you got. And I'm here.
Okay, and I'm here.
DJ Exclusive, it's funny. Your comments were spot on because when Crenshaw was running for office, I don't know, a year ago or whatever his last campaign was, he did an ad that was styled after the Avengers.
Of course he did.
What? COVID gonna be an Avenger too.
Okay, it's gonna be a straight up Avenger. All 5, 6, 7 of them.
He was really trying to play the superhero, even though you'd make him the villain. So you know.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a villain.
Bring us up another clip.
So this one's gonna be a little bit more boring, but at least Biden's, letting his temper show a little bit when he had to respond to Ducey, who is actually the son of the Fox and Friend anchor, but also, I guess Fox keeps it in the family. C6, Dwayne.
Oh, yeah, I got this one.
You no longer need to wear a mask. And it seems I haven't fully vaccinated in an area where we do not have. So let me clarify. In May, you made it sound like a vaccine was the ticket to losing the mask forever. And that is true at the time, because I thought there were people who were going to understand that getting vaccinated made a gigantic difference. And what happened was the new variant came along, they didn't get vaccinated, it was spread more rapidly, and more people were getting sick. That's the difference.
So the audio is tough on that one, but just in case anyone couldn't understand because the audio was kind of tough on that one. I just wanted to clarify. Ducey was playing the whole game of, you said we didn't have to wear masks if we got vaccinated. Why did you lie? And Biden, even though the audio didn't cooperate with him, basically snapped back saying, I thought people were going to be smart enough to take the vaccine in enough of a majority that it wouldn't be a problem, but it is a problem.
But listen,
Dr. Mack.
David, I didn't even need the audio because I'm going to tell you the first thing that jumped out to me. But now, I don't know, man. Maybe I just wouldn't. Maybe I'm just in a different mode today. But did Joe Biden just look like Bob Barker in that? I mean, show that clip again, man. Just think about Bob Barker.
Roll that B-roll, yes, please.
Minus the tan,
man. But Bob, right there, Biden look, not right now. Not now. Here you go. See, right now, Bob. It's like he's morphing into Bob Barker. He's about to say,
oh, my God.
Protect the population by having your pet spayed and neutered.
Spayed and neutered.
Taken behind the woodshed. But see, right there, that is a Bob Barker moment right there for me. That's all I could concentrate. I couldn't even hear what the president was saying. I was like, damn, is this let's make a deal right now? I don't know, Bub. I might be wrong. I might be reaching.
Oh, no. According to you in the chat room, everybody says hell yes. And Dwayne, say what you said again, Dwayne.
Oh, hold on. I got to bring the clip back up. Here we go. Do your part to help protect the pet population by having your pet spayed and neutered.
Right there, man.
Dr. Mack, you started it.
I'm looking at Bob Barker right there. I don't know, man. It might just be me.
Man, it's not you.
A little bit more serious about this.
Yeah. Sleepy Joe was up. I mean, he's, it's these questions, and I know he's upset about it, and people are saying, okay, Joe Biden, you said if we get vaccinated, we don't have to wear these masks. Yeah, that was before this Delta variant came along, and y'all still didn't want to get vaccinated, and now here we are on the verge of another goddamn shut in, whatever you want to call it.
Bubba,
it's about to happen.
I just want to, Bubba, I just want to go in and just make Karl Mack the president right now. President Mack, you said, are you dialing back on wearing the mask? Hey, check this out, player. If you want to take your dumb ass out there without the mask or without the vaccine, man, feel free. Because I know in about 2 or 3 more press conferences, I won't see you here.
Exactly.
Republican Party, come on down. You're the next contestant on Wear Your Damn Mask.
Wear your damn mask. You're the next contestant of You're Dead from COVID-19 Delta variant. The stupid.
Come on, man.
Yes, Dr. Mack for president. Dr. Mack for president. All right. David, what else you got for us today?
Got a few others. Only one more stupid one, but I think we can feed off of it enough. The right is so sworn to trying to claim that January 6th didn't happen.
Okay.
That they're going to forget the people they lost on that day. Dwayne, B3.
So whatever happened on January 6th, let me just be clear. Everybody wants to know what happened. We know that whatever happened isn't what we're being told happened. The idea of that, Steve, that in the United States of America, there could be this false narrative put out by bureaucrats and by the government. Every American should understand we are at war. It is unacceptable in the United States of America to have this thing going on. It's one thing if it's going on with the Warren Commission or Watergate. This is something that strikes at the heart of everything we have in this nation. A lie that there was some insurrection. If there was an insurrection, somebody's brains would have been on the floor of the Capitol. This is absolute baloney.
So there wasn't brains, but I mean, I'm pretty sure there was, a heart that stopped, possibly blood on the floor of the Capitol.
And not to mention another suicide from yesterday.
Whatever happened, look, man, this ain't the Kennedy assassination. It ain't right. Like you got to do some analysis on the quote unquote magic bullet. Whatever happened. But let me tell you what else happened, Dwayne. Bubba, just in case you forgot, little Charlie Kirk, him paid for 80 terrorists to go down there and create this insurrection. That's part of what happened.
80 buses, so Dr. Mack, 80 buses.
80, oh, wait a minute, what did I say? 80 what?
80 people. 80 buses.
But Bubba, my bad. Little Charlie Kirk just needs you to know that you paid for 80 buses of folks to go down there and terrorize America. Now, for that fool that was just on the screen, whatever happened, player, you can't change that narrative if you wanted to. You're talking about Watergate, the Warren Commission, all these other things. See, I get that there were no cameras there to see all of that. But on January 6th, we all saw that. That little foolish narrative that you think that you're going to get away with. Look, Eric, man, have you lost your mind? Whatever happened. We know what happened. Ain't no magic bullet here. Ain't no plot. Ain't no conspiracy. We absolutely saw it with our own eyes. See, this will be the fool who would sit there and try to tell you that 9/11 never happened. Man, God, what was that show, Bubba? The Twilight Zone?
Twilight Zone, yeah.
Little Eric is. That's where he plays at. But little Charlie, we ain't forgot. You paid for 80 buses of folks to go down there and terrorize American democracy. We ain't forgot that, little Eric, little Charlie.
Never forget. No, Dr. Mike, no. We lost you. Yes, never forget, because we saw it, you saw it, everybody saw that. You don't know how you can deny that. All the footage and cameras y'all took in there and was taking pictures in the chambers and doing everything else. Everybody saw it. So please be it known. There was an insurrection. No, excuse me. It was a terrorist attack on the country.
But let me tell you the other thing that's going to happen. See, right now, when Trump told them, I can go down in the middle of Times Square and I can do anything I want to and convince people that it didn't happen, a lot of folks didn't really believe that. But when they saw Trump doubling down on his lie, and then his base began to believe it, trust and believe, they're going to continue this narrative to all of a sudden you going to believe your eyes lied to you. Nope. Well, as long as you listening to Bubba and the old man, we gonna remind you that little Charlie paid for 80 buses to go down there and terrorize America. Like it or not. On that clip,
and Dwayne, thank you for that close-up shot of that, because that was just amazing. That was awesome.
We got company, y'all. I guess they said we was having too much fun by left to our own devices. So
too many men on one podcast.
And especially with no guidance.
Oh wait, so everybody,
the queen,
so everybody's on the show today. I even heard David talking, so everybody just feel like it's gonna be like a free day.
Yeah, that's what happens when y'all don't show up. You know,
Look,
being traveling, you don't want to show up. That's what happens.
Right.
They approved the bald white guy.
And Queen, look, I remember when Ben wasn't here, and you and Bubba was talking about the boss ain't here. Well, you best believe, sis, when we found out that you were late, shit, we decided we're going to get Buckwild right here and do it the way we want to do it. Now you going to come in here.
I don't know what's been going on.
Now we got to behave.
Yeah,
we behave.
I don't know what's been happening, what's been going on. I haven't been watching. I have been having internet issues. But I'm here. Dwayne tried to keep me out. Gonna ask me, am I looking for the Zoom link or I'm looking for the link to watch? What? Boy, if you don't put me on in the Zoom.
Sure. I mean, I know you on that dollar store internet, so I didn't know if you had enough strength connection to join us this month. So I thought you just wanted to watch us have fun. I ain't know.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
All I know is the queen is here. So, Bubba, let's behave now. Here it is.
I know.
Well, no, you guys can actually. I don't even know what I'm walking in on. I did hear Bubba saying that it wasn't an insurrection; it was actually a terrorist attack, and I can definitely agree with that. Today, though, we do have Vanya, who's going to be on the show. Vanya of the Haitian Times, which I'm very excited about. I've been trying to get her on. I know it's been a struggle, but she's going to catch us up on a lot of things that have been going on in Haiti. Just kind of give us some updates, run through that around the 9:45 time. We're going to be speaking with her. And yesterday evening on CNN, the wife of slain Haitian President Jovenel Moïse, Martine Moïse, actually did a brief exclusive interview on Anderson 360. So, and she basically was discussing a little bit of what went down that night of the assassination. And she was actually the only person, the only eyewitness outside of the assailants that saw everything that happened. She talked about playing dead and having to fake being dead and watch her husband die. And then also she talked about how, I know that we have the assailants and there's been over 40 people arrested, but the real culprits are still out there. And for her to say that to me, I think is very telling. She didn't say much. It was a very, very brief interview. But she says that the culprits are still out there. The people who put it together to her are the true culprits. So we're going to have Vanya Andre to discuss more on that when she comes on the show just in a few moments here. But don't let me hold you. Don't let me hold you, Bubba. Don't let me hold you, Dr. Mack. You guys were discussing, I guess.
Girl, it's too late. You didn't came in and got serious.
Change the whole energy.
You didn't change the whole vibe, girl. It's okay. So go ahead, pick the story, Rebecca.
Look, and there was so much that I really wanted to go in and discuss today. And I hopefully later on in the show, we can actually discuss some what's happening.
Make it quick. That Earthlink card about to run out. You know you're going to have to re-up in a few minutes.
Hey, Queen.
I
Let me
can't
tell you
laugh.
something. Wait, hold on. Dwayne, listen, you just got back. Okay. It is Tuesday. You see, I don't know. And I happen to come late on the show. And here you go, always trying to virtually bully me. Like when I see you in person, it is on. Like it is on. It's on.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Queen.
Fight.
Hey, Queen.
He's throwing down the gauntlet.
Let me say it like this, Queen. In regal terms, when you weren't here, we were a floor full of court jesters. Now the Queen comes on, and all this shit got to get regal now. So we have to behave now. So that's what's happening right now. We gonna try to behave.
Okay, look, let's try to bring it back. It's the second day of school, and I know the teacher was out for a little bit.
Literally,
we had the administrator watching y'all, or the substitute, which was like the music teacher. I don't know nothing about science, but she's substituting. It was kind of like that happening. Dwayne was supposed to be y'all Ben, and he just let y'all be reckless. And David just joined in on it, knowing that he know better.
Well,
and it was
David
just the whole
was
party.
supposed to. David was the Ben. David was the Ben. He was guiding and leading. He was picking the good clips. And then Dwayne, you know,
I gotta tell you, Queen,
he class clown.
I usually behave in classroom. I pay attention. But all of a sudden, when the Queen wasn't here, I decided, shit, let me see what it's like to get a little reckless in class.
That's how we do it. The substitute. David, the substitute teacher. When the substitute there, everybody get kicked out of class.
And you know David, the white teacher.
I don't like that
full of
framing.
black
I don't like that framing. I don't approve of that.
All of a sudden, the white teacher came into the inner city. We were like, oh shit, we can do whatever the hell we want.
Listen, don't bully the substitute teacher. Listen, David, I got you, and thank you for holding it down. What else? Wait, we didn't get a chance to. I got a Karen clip from James that I'm about to give to Dwayne. If you filibuster for 20 seconds. You know I can. You know I'm all about that life. Listen, I didn't get a chance to quickly just discuss with you guys how my morning was, and my morning was, as you guys know, it wasn't the best. I was trying to do my hair, and my original ponytail just fell off and was on the floor. It was just on the floor. I was like, what am I going to do to my hair? So I had to just, wrap it around, try to fill it, because I cut my relaxed parts off. So my hair is usually pretty thick and pretty long, but I cut all the relaxed parts off. I'm starting over, and I'm going back natural. Hair grows pretty fast. It's the Haitian roots in there. But I was a little sad because my ponytail wasn't holding like it usually do. Y'all know me on the show. My ponytails be really big, really thick. Listen, my extensions that I never have to do for my ponytail was on the floor. Like when I do my high buns, it was on the floor. I was real sad. But my hair curl pattern is very nice. It's back. So let me give it about 2 months. 2 months.
And then are we done? Rebecca, it didn't help none that everybody's internet was acting up this morning. My computer then shut down twice on me, so I can't play no music this morning. Shout out to DJ Dwayne back there.
Let me correct that.
Not everybody.
Let's correct that. Not everybody internet was messing up.
It's y'all Atlanta folks.
Okay, everybody from Atlanta internet was messing up.
Y'all got, but Dwayne and we right here in the great state of Maryland. Shit is always on point.
Dr. Mack, we need to put out a GoFundMe and get them some more AOL cards for down there in Atlanta, because they having some problems.
Not the AOL cards.
There's got to be a solution, but
is the video up or what? Because this filibustering has got to stop. Okay,
so Dwayne does have the clip. He should be almost ready. Just think about the worst Karen you've ever seen, the worst Karen video you've ever seen, and compare it to this one.
Able to get a last name. She's looking for the ID. You did say I had to have an ID to be here.
No, we need that. You need to give
Didn't
us
you say?
identification.
Okay.
Was the call taker able to get a last name? She's refusing to identify herself.
It's my God-given right to be here on this planet, and you cannot tell me otherwise. Correct? You just lied to me.
I lied to you about what?
You said I had to have an ID to be here.
No, you got to identify yourself.
When you're legally detained, you can play back on your video. When you're legally detained, you have a duty to identify yourself to a police officer.
Okay, so they're saying when I'm legally detained, which I was not, that I have the...
Can you try to run her with call taker? I know you want to have them on there for your safety purposes.
Yes.
But right now, you and I need to be talking, not them.
Says who?
You need to continue having a conversation with me. So you said that she shoved you. You want to file assault charges. She's saying you shoved her, and she has witnesses. You have witnesses to say that she shoved you.
She has the manager?
No.
Okay.
There are other employees that were in the fitting room.
I would hope. Okay, other employees. Well, there's also another woman without a mask. Isn't that interesting how she only picked me?
Well, I have nothing to do with that at all.
She only picked me, the white person, not the black person wearing a mask. Do you think it's a racist? Right, as much as it is yours. This is my land as much as it is yours. I did not sign up for this. I am a Christian woman of God, and you are not going to put your
woman of God
rules on me that are false.
I'm a Christian woman
of
true. God.
I will not have it. Do you understand that? I will not have it. I'm sick of being bullied. I'm sick of being lied to. And it's not going to happen anymore. Do you understand? The CDC just released. Oh my gosh.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
He's like, you know what, man? Bump all this. Just bump all that, girl. Just come on.
You know what's funny? I actually just watched a video on the Take and Talk, something similar to this. There was a woman that was doing the same thing, white woman, all down the neighborhood, and she thought that she wasn't going to get arrested. So the officer came, gave her a citation. They started doing the same thing, and the neighborhood officer came back because she didn't want to take the citation. She ripped it up in front of him. That man came back and reversed, did a U-turn, and he said, "You're going to take the citation, ma'am," and gave it back to her. And then she was like, going off, and then he started to arrest her, and then she started trying to resist. Husband was on the side, and he was trying to call the lawyer while he watched his wife literally like get dragged by this officer. Because there's one thing about it is that these Karens, as we can see, for any small reason, after attacking or bullying or whatever they do, they start going into, they start doing the tears thing, or they start saying that this land is my land. They start doing that as well. They want to go ahead and talk about being a WOG, a woman of God. And I ask God every day to send me a MOG, a man of God. But if it's going to come in the form of that, if that's what people call a woman of God or a man of God, I don't want it, because you can't only reach out and say that you're Christian and to cover the crap that you're doing. It don't work like that, sis. It does not work like that. Okay. You like using your Karenness and then you saying that, you using those really conservative points about this being your land and your rights. And then you saying that you are so saved. Those are three things that really go into the Karen racist umbrella. Those are right under there. So if I'm happy that she, that she wasn't above the officer knew that she wasn't above getting arrested. When you're harassing people, enough is enough.
Okay, but Queen,
this makes me want be in here to do her Karen. What was the house called? The Karen.
The Karen Rehab Center.
Queen, listen, I got
Karen Rehab Center.
Your prayer. You said that you prayed that God would send, that God send me a man of God.
A MOG.
Okay, a MOG. See, I'm thinking right now, you not understanding how God has answered you. Bubba is here with you. The old man is here with you. The rain is here with you. David is here with you. God said, I love you so much, baby. I'm going to give you 4 men. I'm going to give you 4.
He said, you got to be specific in your prayers.
God waking up every morning talking about what you want, baby. I done sent you 4 of them. I need you to recognize that, Queen.
Thank you, God. Thank you, God, for all these good men in my life. I was going to say good black men, but we got one little white man that we're unsure if he's Italian, Puerto Rican. Just kidding, David. I love you. Mean it. But no, thank you, God. Right. Thank you, God, for all the good men in my life.
But thank you for the video. See, I hadn't seen that Karen video, right? And so I'm sitting here watching it for the first time. And I'm going to tell you, as we watching it, I'm thinking to myself, I don't really kind of see this. I hear what she's saying. So at the end, it needed a wait to the end moment. Because of all the people, it was like the cop was like, shit, even I'm tired of listening to this shit. You under arrest. Oh my God. That was the beautiful part of it.
That's when they start. That's when she started to use that with what we see often, and that's that the white tears.
Tears.
And the oh my God, I cannot believe I am under. Why am I under? I just get all of that starts happening. And, you know, I'm going to call my lawyer. Do you know who I am? Like all of that is just going in. And because they do believe that for some odd reason that they are like, they're protected. There's some kind of invisible Harry Potter cloak that protects them.
I did not see it coming that the white male police officer was going to arrest him. So try to put me in his mind. What is it that he was listening to? Did he just finally say, look, goddamn, I done had enough of this shit. You under arrest. I mean, what was going on in his mind? That's the part that just tickled the mess out of me with that one.
Exactly. And then before we take a break, he just seemed like, I don't know, he was just standing there. He just seemed like he was over it, and just all of a sudden, you know what, man, come on.
He's like, another day. He was like, another day, another Karen. Okay, so that's exactly what happened. We see it all the time, and this officer just seemed to be like, if this is just another moment, and I hear this all the time. Come on, girl, you going to jail? Okay, you going to jail? Bubba, let's take us to a quick break. After this, we're gonna have Vanya on the show, and I can't wait to see and to hear some updates about what's going on in Haiti. So,
okay, absolutely, Bubba. Before you do that, Queen, I need official permission to be released from the court today.
Oh, where you going?
I guess I ain't going anywhere.
Look, where you? Okay, look, you're released. But I want to look. I be in people's business. So where you going? What plans you got? No, go ahead.
See, I'm gonna tell you what that for me was. That's like you walk out and you got this tie on, and your wife says, are you wearing that tie? It's not a question. It's like, have you lost your damn mind? You're not wearing that tie. So I just said, can I be released? And I felt like you, where the fuck do you think you going?
Yes, you may be released. Yes, you may be released. Look, let the people know. You're just say goodbye to the people, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Queen.
All right, y'all.
Dr. Mac, we love you, sir. Thank you. Boom, I'm playing music. Look at me. Dwayne is going to have us something played real soon. Y'all, as you know, my music system is down for this morning. But make sure that y'all stay tuned. More likely than not, it's coming up next. And we will be joined by Vanya, y'all. So make sure you stay tuned. Updates on Haiti coming up next. All right. Is music playing? I don't know. I can't tell. Oh, it's not, is it? Okay, shout out to everybody that's joining. Make sure that you hit us up on patreon.com/likeitnornot, patreon.com/likeitnornot. If you're enjoying the content as well, too, feel free to tip your DJ. Hey, that's me. And tip your host, Rebecca. That's her on the other side of the screen that you can't see right now, and help keep this good content going. Yeah, it's no tunes going on yet, but it's okay because I know Dwayne is working on something good for us. So make sure that y'all stay tuned. I like this filibustering, Rebecca. It's different. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I can hear you. Look. Look. If y'all can hear the background, look, now Dwayne having some issues. So it's the infrastructure bill, y'all. That's what it is. Oh, Courtney the SOP said Bubba is so cute. Thank you. I got my red on today, looking like a glass of Kool-Aid. I feel good. Good morning. Justice Draconis, good morning. Good morning. All right, y'all. And welcome back to the screen. Now my sister from another Mr. Rebecca Zoryal.
All right, guys, we are back. Welcome back to Like It or Not. Listen, I know, like I said, I've been telling y'all for 5 months that we're going to be updating. And I finally got Vanya back on the show, who I thought did a really good job. And Vanya of the Haitian Times, who I thought did an amazing job telling us what's going on with a lot of information that's been coming out. And we have her back on the show today. Hey, good morning, Vanya. How are you?
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much for having me back. I appreciate it.
No problem. So glad to have you back. So glad to have you back. I know there's been so much going on. You know how I like to do, just dive right into it. There's been so much going on since we last discussed what's been going on with Haiti and the assassination of the Haitian president, Jovenel Moïse, and with his wife, Martine Moïse, so much has gone on since then. I know that there have been over 40 arrests when it comes to the assailants. I know that there are people who are in so many different places. I know it's America, Colombia, Dominican Republic, who have been tied to this president's assassination, Jovenel Moise. What else can you tell us as far as the updates when it comes to any progression on information?
Sure. So we're approaching the 1 month mark now from when the president was slain. And, the investigation is underway, but what we're seeing is that there have been a lot of threats to the credibility of protocol that's been used in a typical investigation. So what we're seeing coming out of Haiti are reports that there's witness tampering, that officials that are working on the investigation, that they claim that they're getting death threats. There are a number of people that have went into hiding because, again, there are bad actors that are essentially trying to strong arm and bully them and kind of have this investigation go a way that necessarily that the proof isn't showing. And then there's also questions about protocol about forensic evidence that was or wasn't collected. So just the whole process, even though the investigation is underway, the whole process has just been murky, which really is problematic because what will end up happening is that if the people do not trust the investigation, then they won't trust any conclusions that come out of it. And that's some skepticism that we've seen from the day that the announcement came that the president was assassinated.
Yes, that is in itself so much, right? I know that there has been so many different things going on online about tampering, things like that. But yesterday, Martine Moise was on CNN, which a lot of people were shocked about when she was on Anderson 360 discussing just a little bit. It wasn't too much of a long interview, yet she discussed how, I know, like you're saying, there's allegations of tampering going on and all these other things inside happening. Well, she states that even with all these arrests that have been made, over 40 arrests, even with all the people who have been arrested, the true assailants, the people that put it together, are still out there. I know there were reports of possibly the prime minister being involved. Is there any truth to that, or have those allegations been shut down?
So there are a number of theories about who is the true culprit, right? So everyone that has technically been detained, no one has been officially charged with a crime. No one's been formally arrested. All of these people, they're essentially hit for hire, right? And a lot of them, the people that have been named, they don't have the resources to finance a plot like this, the wherewithal, the connection. So, as the former First Lady mentioned in the interview, the idea that the people who they have detained are the ones that are truly culpable in this, it's kind of ridiculous. And it's really about finding who hired these men. As you mentioned, that there are a number of people in custody. I think out of the 40, 18 of them are former Colombian soldiers who they claim that they were told that they were being hired to protect a high-profile individual in Haiti for a mission that was backed by the U.S. In the interview yesterday that the former First Lady did with Anderson Cooper, she mentioned that she would like to see the UN be the one to lead this investigation. And again, calling into question the ability of the Haitian intelligence and Haitian National Police to be able to really get behind who financed this plot and called for the murder of the president.
Okay, yeah. Even with her speaking, right, yesterday in the conversation that she had, many people are two-sided on this, the same way that they were with Jovenel Moise, right? Some people are for her and some people are against her. And then, and understandably so, right? People want to see her in a certain way, right? They want to see her mourning. They want to see her in more of a painful place. And it's interesting to see that a lot of other people are saying because she isn't in a more state of mourning, because she has a little bit too much strength, she may possibly have something to do with this. And I think that that is going to be very problematic, I believe, in getting more information out, because there's so much misinformation around her. Is that something that, do you think that this rhetoric could possibly put her life in danger?
It's definitely going to put her life in danger if it's not already. You know, she's mentioned in these 2 interviews that the people who came to murder her husband assumed that she was dead. I don't think that they thought that there would be a witness left in order to implicate anyone. These feelings that people have that whether, you know, she may be involved or not, I think it really is speaking to the fact that there seems to be like something missing, as though, you know, she may know more than what she's letting on. And perhaps that's the case, perhaps it isn't. You know, perhaps, you know, she does know more, and this is about protecting herself and her children. You know, there are theories that somehow she may be implicated in this. And I think a lot of that is coming from the New York Times article, because she mentions about possibly running for president. So that right there, that's like, like, could she have a reason to want the former president dead? You know, there are reports that had come out from a few years ago that she had been implicated allegedly in the La Saline massacre that happened, I believe, in November 2018 or 2019. So, you know, a lot of this, you know, it's unfortunate. And then, you know, when I saw her at the funeral, I just couldn't help but think about like how strong and eloquent and poised she was, which I think is a marker of Haitian women. You know, they like to say a lot that Haitian people are resilient. I don't like using that term to describe our people, because it really just means that you're able to put up with a lot of shit. Pardon my French. And, you know, so I think that's what we saw. And that's what people are kind of like getting a question mark from. Like, how is it that in spite of all of this woman is able to stand with her head held up high and is able to speak directly to the people that she believes are responsible for her husband's death? And, you know, out of that, again, you know, there's always going to be theories, there's always going to be allegations. And, you know, I don't necessarily think there's something wrong with that, because at this point, this is an international investigation. There are many people at play. There's different layers to this. And at this point, you know, anyone that could have possibly had something to gain from the president's death is a suspect. And unfortunately, usually in these crimes, like, you look at the partner first, right? Like, I don't know if you watch these true crime stuff, but it's always like, look at the husband, look at the wife first. So it's unfortunate that rhetoric is out there, but it's not one that's surprising to me.
Yeah. And I think that's the problem. People are, we know our people. And a lot of times, because there's so much that goes on in like so much corruption in our government. So the first thing that people are going to think of is, okay, she could be a part of this. This could be a part of this. This could be a part of this. It's because there's been just so much corruption. But I will say, you said something to me that stood out. And that was basically, because I tend to call our people very resilient, but you are so right. But I also on this show tend to say, you know, I don't want to go through things that don't kill me, but make me stronger. And that's something that we just tend to do, especially as Haitians. People automatically, you know, just look at us in particular different ways. And we constantly be like, well, we're going to get through this. We're going to get through this. And for her to have gone through something like that, I want to be on the side of it. And I could be right or I could be wrong, but I want to be on the side of it, just like we would for any American person that was a public figure that may have lost their husband or may have gone through something like this. What we usually do here in America is, you know, get by their side and be like, you know, we got to, you know, keep them in our thoughts and prayers. And that's where I want to see this. I want to keep it right there in that more of a positive light and continue to support her, because God knows what she could actually be going through mentally to have seen that, to as she said, to have played dead in that moment and lose her husband, and then, you know, just have to recount the situation in different ways that may not put her life in danger, but just for the fact that she's talking, just for the fact that she's alive, is a situation where she feels like is putting her life in danger. So it's so much going on. And I just, I wanted to play a quick clip from her interview last night on CNN. Do we have that, David?
We should give Dwayne just a minute.
Okay. So while we get that, oh, here we go. Any sound with it? That's all right. Yesterday in watching what she said she wanted to get assistance in the investigation and finding out who the people outside of the assailants were. And do you think that getting outside assistance would be something that is beneficial? Because I know that a lot of people in Haiti, and we saw at the funeral, I know this one man was made a meme as he looked at the people who were protecting her, the Americans that were there, and was cussing them out in Creole, saying you shouldn't be here, go. Do you think that having outside influence, outside assistance, outside help in this investigation would be something that benefits Haiti and getting us to the bottom of what really happened?
Wholehearted, 100% yes. And I just want to, for clarity reasons, when I say yes, help from the U.S., it's specifically tied to the investigation, because part of what's been muddled in this conversation is that you have people calling for assistance from international agencies, from the FBI to help with this investigation, but somehow it's being interpreted as like a call for the U.S. to come and involve themselves in Haitian politics themselves. And that's not what we're asking for. I think, if you think about Haitian society, all of our institutions are pretty much non-existent, right? So what we saw that was exposed in the days following the president's assassination is that we have a political crisis, a constitutional crisis, and a social crisis. And this also extends to the justice system in Haiti. The justice system in Haiti has been pretty much non-existent. I mean, there have been in the past, so for example, if you think about the Petrocaribe scandal, a huge report that was set out, implicated dozens of people, no arrest. No one charged, so it's needed because honestly, I just don't have faith in the justice system in Haiti to be able to execute this and to bring the culprits to justice. And then secondly, we already see this high level of witness tampering, of the investigation, of people trying to strong arm officials into implicating those that have not come up in investigations and in interviews with others. So I think the only way for this investigation to be really credible and for people to believe and trust in the results that come out of it is to bring the UN and international players to be the ones to take this investigation by the lead.
Yeah, and I guess because there are so many other countries that were actually included into orchestrating the assassination. I think that's why people are like, we just don't want anybody coming in. But there hasn't been any actual standing active, effective government. So even while the body of the president was still, laying cold, there was so much going on as far as who's going to be in leadership and who's going to do this. And this was in question and this was in question. And it seemed like we just is going to be a whole thing because we don't know anything that's going to happen or how it's going to be healed in this particular moment. We still need leadership. But yes, having leadership or having people come in from the outside, I think that's what the Haitian people are looking at it as. Why can't we do it ourselves? Well, the reason why at this particular moment is because there is so much corruption. But when the hands of the U.S. and the hands of other people from the UN have been involved in things, it has hurt the country more than help. But at this point in time, we need some help. I think we got a clip from yesterday evening, and we're going to go ahead and play that.
Private security, she agreed to go on camera for the first time with her side of a story that's left her shaken. You have armed security here at this interview. We've been asked and agreed not to disclose the location of where we're talking right now. You're obviously at least thinking about threats to your life. Do you feel like your life right now is at risk?
Yeah, it is. Because I wasn't supposed to be alive.
In a long conversation that switched between Haitian Creole and English, Moise described in vivid detail what happened the night her husband was killed. It was around 1 a.m., she says, when the shooting started. It wasn't something small. It was the sounds of automatic weapons. Bullet holes still pockmarked the compound. At the time, she and her husband hid in their bedroom, but just minutes later, she says the door burst open. Gunfire ripped through the air, and at first, only she was hit. Face down and bleeding, she thinks about a dozen men ransacked the room, looking for something specific. They came to find something because I heard them saying, "That's not it, that's not it, there it is," which means they found what they were looking for. She doesn't know what they found, but after they did, an attacker approached her husband, at this point still alive and unhurt, and got on the phone. She says that person called someone and described what my husband looked like, saying he was tall, skinny, and black. Maybe the person on the phone confirmed to the shooter that was him, and they shot him on the floor. The president was dead, and the attackers left soon after. Moise believes they thought she was dead too. Critically wounded, she lifted herself up. When you stood up and you saw that he was dead, did you say anything to him? In my heart, I said something I used to tell him when he was alive. We are married for better or worse, and even beyond the grave. Her left side bleeding and her right arm shredded by gunfire, she's eventually led out of the house by police and comes to a quick conclusion. The dozens of security guards normally on hand to protect the president either let the attackers in or they abandoned their posts.
Right there. So that was the point that I wanted to get to that she said. She said with her coming out, it was the fact that in that particular moment, it was like, where's the protection that was supposed to be there for us? They either just let them in, left their posts, or are these even the people that are supposed to be usually here, that are working with us? There was just no help. And I think that's one of the key things. Is there any investigation happening with any of the security officers? Last I heard, there was something with the head of security. So what can you tell us about that?
Sure. So the head of security for the President's Guard, he was detained, I want to say maybe about 2 weeks ago. We also have seen that a house in Weston, Florida was raided. Someone with ties to, I believe, World Capital. And they were like the financing arm of this. They actually sent a statement to the Haitian Times saying that while they did finance certain things tied to this, they had no idea that this was tied to an assassination plot, anything of that sort. And, I think her comments really speak to, again, what a lot of people are saying is that this is not just a clear-cut black and white case of who did it, right? Like, this is something that clearly shows that there were multiple people involved at all levels, and that it may really be a case where there are a number of people implicated and that are a part of this plot in all sectors that have to do with Haiti, whether it's the national police, politicians, members of the business class. It really is, again, like I mentioned, everyone is a suspect, and it's for reasons like this. How is it that, men were able to infiltrate the president's home? Usually when we see assassinations take place or attempted assassinations, they usually happen in transit, someplace in the public, not in someone's private property. So it really does call into question, how involved, if they were, the Haitian National Police, the guards, and again, at whose order were they acting upon?
Yeah. And the last question before we get out of here, with the leadership, like we were saying, there's just no real leadership at the moment. But I believe last time you were on the show, you discussed 2 prime ministers, and then and how they were, and then there was a third person that came out of nowhere. I know that one of them stepped down, and a lot of people thought that was because he had something to do with the assassination. So who's left when it comes to taking the place of leadership now?
Sure. So the former Prime Minister, Claude Joseph, he stepped down about a week and a half ago. And a lot of theories are that he basically stepped down after international pressure from the U.S. The U.S. had sent a special envoy in the days following the assassination. There were FBI agents a part of that envoy, some political figures as well. And I think, it really came to a conclusion that what was best for the country was to avoid a situation where for weeks at ends, there's this political struggle, this power struggle. So Claude Joseph did step down, and then Ariel Henry is currently the prime minister. His main goal, as he said right now, is to organize elections that are supposed to happen on September 26th. I think that's a faulty goal at this moment because everyone's eyes really still is on the investigation and the culpability and who's culpable for this. For the assassination of the president. And then also, if the elections are rushed, it's just going to call into question the results. That's what happened under Jovenel Moïse, right? Like there were several elections, people said that they were faulty, the process of it. So if there's any kind of question along that lines, it's just going to cause a struggle further down the line. We're going to see more protests down the line. We're going to see more calls for whoever wins this election to step down. So, it really doesn't make sense to me to push that hard for elections to happen in September when the country is in the middle of a crisis right now.
Yeah. With the elections that he wants to propose on September 26th, what elections would that be? Who is that putting into leadership? Is that the local? Is that the whole country? What elections are those that will be held September 26th?
It would be presidential. And I believe I'm not sure if it's also for parliament, but definitely presidential.
Wow. Now, see, that changes things because at this particular time, the assassination of the president is fresh. It's still fresh. The country has no leadership. What time do people have to really sit and say, we want this person as president? What time do people really have to sit and see certain people's policies and see if that matches what they want? This is, there needs to be a little bit more time. While there is just faulty leadership right now, there still needs to be more time. September is literally tomorrow. So there's so much that we can unpack with this whole thing, Vanya. Thank you so much for reaching out. Again, we will have you on again. I really want you to be our go-to person because you work for the Haitian Times. And like I said, the Haitian Times has been one of the most legit pieces of work that I've been going to behind the Miami Herald. So I absolutely love going there, and I absolutely love speaking with you because you're very knowledgeable. Not only are you Haitian and you're first generation like me, but you're very knowledgeable on everything that's going on. And I want to make sure that the conversation sits correctly. I want to make sure that the conversation is effective and helping people understand who don't understand Haiti, who don't understand what's going on, understand what is actually happening. So, Vanya, let people know where they can find you.
Sure. You can find me on Twitter. It's VanyaAndre_.
All right. And again, she was with the Haitian Times, and you also work for, is it The City?
Yes, The City. We're a nonprofit newsroom in New York City, basically looking at accountability journalism. So a lot of similar work that we do in the Haitian Times, but more so for the 5 boroughs, making sure that, the needs of New Yorkers are really met. And yeah.
Girl, I love to see it. I love to hear it, and I love to see it. Okay, I absolutely, Vanya, we will have you back, and so I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Bubba, take us to a break, and you guys will be back with more Like It or Not right after this.
Thank you.
No problem.
For joining us this morning for the updates and everything. And while we have no music, Bubba's going to tell a joke. So, the first joke. Here we go. You see how Dwayne brought the music in, cut my joke off you old. Let me stop. Again, so first joke. What's the difference between a northern fairy tale and a southern fairy tale? A northern fairy tale begins with once upon a time. A southern fairy tale begins with y'all are gonna believe this shit. Okay, our next joke. This comes from the Dad Jokes Library. Let's see. I'm afraid of the calendar. Dwayne, you know why that is?
No. Why is that?
Its days are numbered. Hey, you know, singing in the shower is fun until you get soap in your mouth. Then it becomes a soap opera. Why are y'all supporting me like this? Okay, y'all want another one? Okay, cool. Let's see. We're going to go to the category here. Let's see. Okay. What? 2 minutes? I hate y'all. Look, here we go. Okay, good, Dwayne. I mean, David, yeah. Here we go. What do you call a bunch of black people in the elevator? A box of chocolate. They only hear me in the background. Oh, these are some racist ass jokes, y'all. My gosh, today. Yeah. Okay, all right. Here's the last one, y'all. How do you follow Will Smith in the snow? How do you follow Will Smith in the snow? You follow the Fresh Prince. Hey man, they tripping in chat room. Yes, these jokes are lame as hell. All right, y'all. Welcome back, Rebecca. They throwing tomatoes at me in the chat room, sister.
Somebody said, "Cut the feed, cut the feed." I actually thought that was super cute. I actually loved it. Absolutely. I don't get the answers to jokes quickly, but that last one, I felt, I need to pat myself on the back because I got that one, the Fresh Prince.
The Fresh Prince.
I did, and that was all of myself.
Those
I didn't
all
Google.
came right. Those all came from the internet. Alexa, tell Rebecca a joke.
She didn't hear you, and she's too far from me to grab her, so.
Look.
Yeah, she did light up.
Mine is in the room. She did light up.
Yeah, she's so bald-headed. But listen, it is 10:19. I don't know what is on the spreadsheet. It is Tuesday. I rolled up late, had some technical difficulties. Mm-hmm. I don't know what kind of boys club you guys were doing without me. You guys, I really don't
worry,
know.
because I think everybody had issues. Like Noah, like at one point, Noah and Dr. Mack were on, and then next thing you know, Noah was gone. And so while I'm getting Dr. Mack is on the screen filibustering, and then next thing you know, my entire system just shuts down. Everything. And like it did it twice.
Noah, let me tell you something. Noah was here, and I keep missing it. This is the second time that you guys mentioned Noah, and I did not know.
She's gonna try to come on later this week for you.
She's just gonna come on later this week for me.
Yeah, like to do a segment with you.
She better be on at like 9:30. That's the only way she's gonna be on, Rebecca.
Okay.
Listen, first of all, Noah is like my big sis. Like, coming up in this whole thing, she literally has had my back this whole time. Like, while a lot of people just didn't, believe in me because I was kind of like the Black Barbie, which is fine. She literally was just like, girl, you are you. You're strong. You can handle a lot of this stuff. When I was a little old thing, now I'm 54 years old, So I needed you guys to see me with Anoa. Anoa is life. Anoa is literally big sis. She has, because of her, I had an opportunity to actually speak with Cory Booker and just a whole bunch of other things. So absolutely, Anoa, I can't wait. So let's make that happen this week. They need to see me and big sis. And we got to definitely catch up and talk, man. Definitely. That's a connection made by Ben as well. I heard Ben came on through his cell phone.
Yep, until his phone died.
That's why David is here. Yeah, he was off like 3%. And so, That's
the only reason I got authorization to speak, and now I'm not shutting up.
Yeah, I see. David, you on the roll today. I'm like, excuse me.
David got permission, so he's here.
It's the whole thing. Dwayne is chatty. David is just going in.
You know what it is? I couldn't leave my brothers out here just on the screen by themselves since somebody, just hung them out to dry. We
got mics, we got to use them.
Somebody had to be there for them.
I appreciate y'all because I was feeling bad. I'm like, oh, Lord, Rebecca ain't here, Ben ain't here. Me and Dr. Mac, oh, this is about to be. And then David came on. Okay, Dr. Mac, man, David, shoot them clips.
Listen. I was like, my girlfriend was like, girl, where you at? I'm like, girl, I'm trying to get on. And then she was like, okay, because it's just, I'm watching. I'm like, okay, move on. She said, girl, saw Ben come up, on a cell phone, and then Bubba's with Dr. Mac, and I don't know what's happening. I was like, Bubba is just there with Dr. Mac? Look, me, like, they left the kids by themselves? What's going on? Yeah. Get me on now. Get me on right now. No, but when I came on, you guys were absolutely having a blast, and I didn't want to.
Yeah, it was a good time. We went through like, 4 or 5 clips? Maybe 3 or 4.
That's
but we
what
got
I'm
through some clips.
About.
You see how Bubba, she even got her friends like brainwashed to be shooting at us. You see?
Right.
Dang, we don't get no respect around here.
We got spies in here. And like, damn, you let them kids by themselves?
But the gag is they absolutely love you guys. And it's funny because they know each of you by name. I'm saying they, and I only got about one friend. So they actually know you guys by name. So they're like, girl, Dwayne must not be there. Is David the one running things in the background? Is that David? Did Bubba do this? Or, where's Ben? I see Dr. Carl Mack is coming on a lot more often now. They know all the names. So, yeah.
That's
it's
Gwen.
family.
Gwen texted me like 5 times. What's going on? Are y'all okay? Girl, we is fine, child. God dang, we okay.
Exactly. Any little thing that happens, like you did not come on for the first 10. Where are you? What are you doing? What's happening? Ben is not on today. Is something wrong? Like, it's always that.
Always.
Yeah.
So. We do got a Black Joy clip for you that I shared. I can't remember which one it was, but Dwayne, roll that clip for us.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Kids in the cribs want dibs on the big man. Can he come out? Can he come out and slam it down? I'm his #1 fan. Yes, I am. All these kids realize that I'm the man. 6'3" or maybe a quarter of an inch bigger than last year, but still a unique figure. Rob Stringer.
Ooh, I can't do none of them no more.
That I'm a man that was born to have a mic on.
Listen.
Times, ready to kick a rhyme. That'll keep me out of financial bind. That's why when it comes to fans, I'm never mean. Kids on St. James between Gates and Green. Always says hello.
Listen, if my daughter is not a dancer like that, I mean, my son can be too, which is all great. But listen, get out of the way because I need a little mini me, right? Like I need my daughter to be doing that with me so we can go do that. And look, my son, get out of the way. But my daughter, no, seriously, my daughter or son. But I would love to have a mini me to be able to do that. So the other day I was dancing and in my kitchen. No, this was months. This was like in the mid-pandemic. I was in my kitchen when I had first moved in here. Y'all, and the way that I had gained weight, I was trying to go, usually, when I'm dancing to my music, I could go down, no hands. So I had to go find a wall, I had to find something just so I can come get down and get some help to come back up. It was cold. I didn't drop it like it was hot. I was dropping it very cold and very still. But the other day I was dancing because, I got my body back. I was dancing. I was going down, came right back up with a quickness. Good knees, okay? Good knees. Mm-mm. But during that panty, it was just, let me tell you, knees, shoulders, back and toes. They weren't responding well to any dance.
I tried to drop it down low the other day, fooling around before I did the patron party. I couldn't get back up. The knees got stuck and I was stuck on the ground. So I just had to do one of those extend forward kind of things and lay flat. And then did a push up to get back up.
Listen, no. Once I started getting myself back together, I said, we will not, Rebecca, because you got the good knees. And we will not be out here not able and then got to hold on to stuff. Ma'am, sis, girlfriend.
That's not it.
We're not doing that. It's not. Especially, you Haitian. So when you be doing compa, you got to get down, right? The man is holding you back, but you got to take it down. You got to be hands-free. You got to be hands-free. I can't be holding on to things, trying to go down. It don't work like that. Now I'm back, though, because I thought I wasn't going to make it. I thought the good knees was gone.
Never would have made it.
No, they're not. But now I'm getting some kind of pain in the back, though, y'all. Is that the over 30s? I'm getting some kind of sharp shooting pains in my back.
Yep. Just wait. Give it a couple weeks. You're going to be walking around smelling like Ben Gay.
No, I will not. I rebuke that over my beautiful young 30s life. Okay, she will be no being gay. But I do have a menthol rub that I do sometimes.
Mm-hmm. See, that's how I start.
Sometimes after my runs, I gotta get it right in my lower back.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna be smelling like a YMCA locker room. You better
I will not be smelling like that and then have candies at the bottom of my bag. I will not. That's just old lady stuff. I can't do it.
I just bought a massage gun. I'm just like, you know what? I need a massage gun. Just go ahead and get all this out. And I just thought about it. I went and worked out yesterday, so now I need to go use it because I am sore as hell.
Yeah.
After the show, I went and worked out, so I'm just like, let me get my workout on.
That's what I'm talking about, baby. We working out, honey. So
we working out.
When are we meeting up? So this weekend, are we meeting up and we're gonna take a walk? We could take a walk.
Yeah, because I got somebody you need to meet. So yeah.
Okay, cool. I like meeting people, so I'm all about that. Okay, so
we might be going to see Kanye, but I'm not sure yet. Look.
Okay, look, I can definitely be the judge of that. So let's meet. Let's go take a walk. Look, hey friend.
Okay, right. I can't stand you.
Hey,
look.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Dwayne,
I was gonna say before
it's your show.
Oh, don't tell me that. Before we go though, shout out, Simone Biles, bronze in the balance beam.
Bronze.
Also,
okay.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all talked about it the other day, but Elaine Thompson Hurrah from Jamaica, new world record in 100 meters. So
mm-hmm.
yeah,
then she beat FloJo's. Yep. And absolutely. I love that. It's a West Indian girl that's winning things. We be out here running, and I absolutely love that. I hope. Look, because my kid is not here. The kid that I don't have too. I hope that she runs track. I hope that she dances. She runs track. She sings. She does all of that because I'm gonna be like, listen. Have you seen Simone? Listen. I need you to break records, okay? You ain't see that little West Indian girl? You West Indian too. That's what kind of mom I'm gonna be. But then only for a little bit. When she's in her teenage years, I gotta cut that. But yeah, you guys. Yeah, I don't want to go to work.
Mine's going to play basketball. I don't either. I don't either.
Your kid's gonna play basketball.
Mine's gonna play basketball and DJ at the same time. Okay. He's gonna be dribbling and shooting buckets.
I can see that.
DJ Buckets.
I can see that. Did you see that guy on it's a viral video going around where a guy hit the hookah and the hookah gave him some kind of power. That man shot across that court and did some kind of slam dunk with the basketball. I said,
no, I didn't see that one.
after hitting the hookah, so the hookah has become a pandemic in itself. I have a hookah right behind the camera. There is a hookah that was lit yesterday evening.
That's why you be late in the morning.
It's not why I be late in the morning. The hookah's back there. I said yesterday evening. Okay, while I'm on the last stretch of that hour, I be having to hit the hookah and have a drink of wine. But honestly, there's so many people who are saying that the hookah has become their whole lifestyle during the pandemic. I go get shisha and coal at the next to the liquor store, which is very convenient because then I just shoot over to the liquor store and be like, let me go ahead and give me a bottle of rosé. But when I go there, the guy is always like, you want to take a look at my hookahs? I'm like, I told you I got a hookah. I just bought a new one. He was like, yeah, you know who gets the hookahs all the time over here? All the women. They come over here and I'm like, why are you guys buying the hookahs? I've never had hookahs sell off the racks like they have. I'm like, because everybody loves hookahs now. It's not the men though. The men will probably come in and purchase for their women, but it's the women who love the hookahs. I said, yeah. Because I mean, I guess we just like to hit the hookahs in social scenes, and it's really cute to have the hookahs, you know, when you're doing girls' night and all this other stuff. But yeah, he wouldn't stop telling me about women and hookahs while I was getting my hookah stuff.
Yes, indeed. And it's true though, because this hookah thing now, it has become just like hookah everywhere.
Yeah. Listen,
like for
they
real,
need to make me a hookah girl. I make the best hookahs. I make the best hookahs. I do. My
doctor, when I went to the doctor last week, the first thing the doctor said, you smoke, cigarettes, any recreational stuff, hookah. I'm like, okay.
Oh, he asked hookah now because my doctor told me, I'm like, he's like, do you smoke? I was like, I don't smoke, but I do, occasionally smoke hookah. And he's like, hookah, girl. I mean, cigarettes. I mean, he was just going down like a list of things. He wouldn't put hookah on the list.
Really? Mine, he was just like, it may have some health stuff. We don't really know, but just be careful with it. Okay. Yeah. It's just hookah, until I put some weed in it. But anyway, y'all.
Or you can also, for people who don't want nicotine, and there are times that I'll go nicotine free, but it don't be hitting in the shoulders like it should. But there are times that when I'm like, okay, I'm smoking a little too much hookah, I'll get some like nicotine free ones, or I just put the hookah away all the way. But they do have nicotine free hookah where you just inhaling air and flavor. And that's it's really about, it's just, it's cute, it's fun, whatever. But when you got a good glass of wine, a Casamigos, and
come on, Casamigos,
it's like, it's hitting. It hits really nice. I don't want to go to work. Look, it is 10:33. Y'all, I am not trying to log in to the people's jobs. I got about a good 5 more minutes in me. And you all right? You see, it works. I'm telling you, when I do it, it just makes people do it. It's a Haitian thing. It's a Haitian thing, right? I literally was talking about this yesterday. There's a video that, my friend posted a video, and as an older person, or older persona, and he was saying the Haitian word of the day was and everybody and they were saying how, like, in the video, basically, like, I gotta send it to y'all. Let me see if I can send it to y'all real quick so y'all understand. But you'll get it. When I go when somebody is choking or coughing, it causes the person to do it, and when the person does it, it helps it get it out. It forces the person to do it. Like, if I keep going,
I don't think so.
It's gonna.
It's not like yawning. It don't work like that.
It definitely does that. You do it for kids too. That's why kids, because they'll try to copy the sound, and you go and what happens? They'll copy, and then they'll get whatever's in their throat out. I'm telling you. So I just sent it to you guys. I want you guys to play it before we get off the show, so that what are you talking about, David? Look, you know what I'm talking about. Dwayne, I just dropped the link though.
I got it. Give me a second.
But I
you
definitely
talking about that? David popped up and said, "Now we about to have a conversation about choking."
I'm just like, what's happening right now?
If you enjoy these random conversations, continue to support the Benjamin Dixon and Like It or Not Patreon.
Okay.
Like
okay. Look, Dwayne, it's your show.
Like It or Not. He's like the background voice, the announcer man that be on the game show host on the game shows. That's what Dwayne is, a deep voice.
That's exactly what Dwayne is. I think he likes to hear himself talk.
She a hater, Dwayne, ain't she?
I be trying to spare her most of the time. But after that look she gave me earlier, I was like, you know what?
It was a stank face. But I don't like that you guys can see me because it only be lasting for like 2 seconds and then I get out.
It's only me. What I'm gonna start doing is recording your ISO and I'm gonna put together a whole like 5-minute clip.
A whole compilation.
We're gonna run it on one of the after parties.
Don't do that.
Look, I have to remember. I'm like, oh damn, Dwayne can see me, so I can't make. I know Dwayne be seeing a whole lot of faces. Like,
look, it's okay. Look, David's like audience dropped a bit. That's because they know we're at the end of the show, so we're getting it done. It's where we're getting it over with. But before we get out, I want Dwayne. Did you get that?
It's download now. Got a minute left.
What kind of system you got? It's slow.
Oh, we not gonna talk about slow. We not gonna talk about slow in your internet.
Well, anyways, where is Ben that he was on the cell phone? He's still in Ohio?
At home?
He out there doing his Lance Armstrong training for the next bike race.
What is it? Triathlon or something?
Oh, he was running. He was out running. Okay. Oh,
he's biking. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to hear.
While we waiting on the clip, New York just came across my thing that New York is going to make it mandatory that people show proof of vaccination to enter restaurants, gyms, and other indoor spaces.
Okay. I think
it's about time.
Because at the recent, whatever it was, Rolling Loud concert, they were asking for proof of vaccination, right? And the way that they were showing it was as they were walking in, though, they were showing us how the proof of vaccination process was looking. So the security was like, I need to see your cards. I need to see your cards. Let me show people doing their cards. And they were just letting them walk in. I said, hold on now. Now, if we gonna get these vaccine cards, if we gonna have these vaccine cards, we gonna have these vaccine cards. Like, make sure we're vaccinated and we're stopping. I don't give a damn if that's gonna be 15. If you guys are going to these concerts, just know that people are vaccinated around you. But don't you see that's not even working either? These people are still getting sick. If you want to be vaccinated and still get sick, I mean, you won't die possibly, but you'll still be sick as hell. And you possibly can give it to your family members that are not vaccinated. So just think about the things that you're doing. So to your point, though, Dwayne, I think that is a good idea that they would have to do that for restaurants and places like that. But I don't know. I don't know if that could work in Atlanta. I don't know if that could work in Georgia. I'm not sure.
You know it ain't gonna work down there. Atlanta never closed like everywhere else. Y'all was open the whole time out there acting a fool.
Every single time. People were coming here to vacation. People were like literally girls were sharing a 1-bedroom Airbnb and posting videos of outside of this said Airbnb in Midtown and acting like they were on a full vacation in Atlanta. So you got the clip?
That's terrible.
All right.
Haitian sound effect or word of the day. M, only used when someone is coughing or choking. There's no evidence that this does anything.
Come on, man, don't do that, bro. Don't down me, bro. Help! Somebody.
I hate you, Rebecca.
No, everybody knows the older Haitian person always is like the one. You could be like over here choking, and they're like, ahem, ahem. And then you're just looking at them crazy, but then you be like, ahem, like you copy them. And I'm telling you, whatever is in your system, it's coming out. Trust me. It's like, ahem. him. And then they'll be like, "Vous sentez bien kounya?" Okay. Al chita. Like, wap chita la ronfle manger. Like, you know how they are. But also, another thing is putting the little string on your forehead when the child has the hiccups. It works. It works.
Oh, what?
You got the hiccups, you hold your breath.
You take
Works
the
every
string on your forehead?
You take a string and you place it on your forehead, on the baby's forehead, and the hiccups will pass.
Hold your
Y'all
breath.
can judge me if y'all want to. I'm Haitian, so it don't mean nothing to me. All of this is normality to me. Like, I grew up like this.
Yeah, I'm with Dwayne on this one. I hold my breath 10 seconds, and then I just try to do something to scare myself, maybe.
A baby doesn't know. You can't tell a baby, "Hey, sweetie, hold your breath." No.
I can scare the hell out of them, no?
You guys are, this is terrible.
I got people in the chat saying that your remedies don't work.
Whose remedies? Let me tell you something. If you're not Haitian and you don't understand, you wouldn't know. I was raised this way. I didn't even have health insurance as a kid. So I think I came out pretty good.
But Demon Yama Mama said it works. They do that with babies in Puerto Rico too. The string on the forehead. Yeah.
You see?
And then Veronica said, no, it doesn't work. See, I guess it depends on the
Veronica, where are you from, sweetie? I don't
Veronica,
know.
where are you from?
Where you from, babe?
Oh, see, she said.
Oh, Jamaica.
Yeah, Jamaica. She got 3 babies and it don't work. So,
I don't know, sis. I can't really speak on Jamaican, but what I can speak on. Look, this how people be when it's not in their favor. Well, what I can't speak on is Haitians, okay? And it works for us. I know that the string on the forehead, if you bite your tongue or is it your cheek, somebody's talking about you, maybe you gotta bite it back so that so they know that you know they talking about you. Stop talking about me.
So you're just gonna be out here looking crazy, biting on your cheek. That's like you tell somebody, "Hey, try to bite your shoulder."
I told my girlfriend that, and she's like, "Girl, no, somebody is talking about you, girl. Somebody with me. Somebody is talking about you, sis. You gotta, or money is gonna come to you if your palm is itchy. And you never broom by somebody's feet or you're trying to give them bad luck."
Oh yeah, I heard that one. Like if they sweep on your feet, you gotta spit on the broom. That's universal.
Thing. That's universal. So that's a thing. I think that came all the way back from wherever we started from, and that's really black of us. That's really black.
That's real black. Like I want to know where it came from for real. Like
somewhere where we started. There are some things I think that are universal amongst black people, no matter where you're from, as a black person. So. Yes, my voice level does increase with excitement. It does. I go here. Right. Oh, I could be here. I could be a lot of places.
The itching palm.
Mark S, you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
You're going to be drunk first thing in the morning. You don't want to do that.
Yeah. Mark, I was just about to say, Mark S said, got to start a drinking game. Every time you hear "I digress," Heifer and Haitian, take a drink. Y'all will be drunk as hell.
Listen, if you guys haven't, you should definitely try Haitian rum. That's a great remedy. So Haitian rum and some lemon, warm it up a little bit. Whenever you're feeling not good in your body, definitely try Haitian rum. We give it to kids too. And Haitian rum is very strong, but we give it to kids too if they're not feeling well. We mix it with some tea, dilute it a little bit, and Anywho,
just rub a little lick on the gums, help it go to sleep.
Exactly.
You do that too. Yeah. See, that's pretty black of you. It's just black all across the board. So I love that we just have things that we do that is just universal. I know people might think, "Oh, you putting that, you giving your kid alcohol." Well, I see white people put their kids in leashes, and that might be that's pretty white of them. I'm just kidding. Here they go. Say, "Here go Rebecca." I've seen Karens do it many a time, but I love you guys. We're at the end of the show. We do have to go to work. If I didn't have that job, I probably would be right here with you guys on time.
Still,
and a little bit towards the end of the show.
You still would be on time.
Dwayne, I'll be wondering to myself, like, if she didn't have this job, would she still be on time?
No.
I'm like, would I be on time? I doubt it.
Wow.
Because I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I was late as hell this morning.
It's all good. At least, but when you late, shit. At least when you late, you still here before I need to have you on camera. You know,
right.
We're not gonna speak about Miss.
You know what?
Over there.
Look, Bubba, okay. Listen to me. I just took out my braids, right? And I had a lot of hair things happening. My hair is no longer as long as it was, so I can't just throw it in a ponytail. I'm literally like, my hair is super short, so I'm trying to adjust with it right now. Tomorrow I might come with a Jerry curl. Y'all don't even know. I might just come out of the shower so I can show you guys what it's like to prepare. Because literally, I might just come out the shower, no makeup, with a little bob Jerry curl on, y'all. Because hair is super curly. I don't want to come out here looking crazy, okay? So I got to blow down my hair straight. I got to put it in a ponytail, and then a ponytail on top of that ponytail to make things work, okay? And then, listen, I got to put on a little bit of makeup to make my face look like something, or y'all gonna see all the sleep marks on the side of my face. Y'all don't want that. Y'all don't want that, okay?
They still there every now and then. I just don't be telling you.
The
little lines. Yep, you got about 2 or 3.
Y'all get me off these people badass internet, okay?
Listen, I'm out of here because Dwayne just wants. Dwayne, let me tell you something. You better be lucky.
See?
There is no studio. There is no studio. You better be lucky. There is no studio.
I ain't got to worry about you.
And we don't live in the same city.
I ain't got to worry about as long as you've been shooting at me. I got jokes saved up. Just wait. Just one day, I'm just gonna let the whole clip fly. Just wait.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like. You don't want it from me, okay? That's all I gotta say. Now I'm towards the end of the show now, and I'm done with it. I really don't want to be done with y'all, but I am done with y'all. I gotta get to work. I gotta start logging in. And
I say next after party, y'all go at it. Look at me egging it on. Let me stop.
Instigating. Nah.
Instigating.
We ain't gonna write down his jokes. I freestyle mine.
I ain't gotta write them down. I ain't gotta write them down.
I'm off the top of the dome.
Got them saved up top. Don't worry.
See, I'm gay. I'm just gonna start talking about your mama, and that's it. And it's gonna be over, and it's gonna escalate too much. So I don't play fair.
I'm gonna just start speaking Creole. You ain't gonna know what I'm saying.
I know, right? I got a translator though. So what's up?
So yeah, Google Translate. Google Translate work well.
Okay.
Okay, so you got a little translator. Okay, I see what you're doing there. And I think once you go Haitian, it's I don't know.
Bye, Rebecca.
Once you go Haitian,
yep.
all right.
We'll see everybody tomorrow.
I love you guys so much. Definitely tune in tomorrow. We'll be back and we'll be together and we'll right here on Like It or Not. I hope you had fun with us this morning. I'll be here tomorrow at 9 a.m. At 9 a.m. And make sure if you guys feel compelled, tip your DJ at the hashtag DJX3C and tip your host, Becca's Voice. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow if Dwayne lets me in on time. You guys have a good one.
We'll see about that.
Bye.
Deuces.
Sticks and stones may break my bone, but your words can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me. No, I ain't been right more than I've been wrong, and it still can't hurt me. No, it just can't hurt me. No. No, you just can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me. No, no, no. I know it's hard to be polite, and it's easy being petty. My mama used to tell me, gotta use you when he ready. Man, it's crazy how my brother said it could have been my cell. It's either prison or a grave, that's what everybody tell me. Man, life ain't a beach, it's a female dog. I'm staying 10 toes down, though I still might fall. Oh yeah, now I done came through, knocking pictures off you walls. Cause loving people who persecute you, it's still a tough be a light up on my path and a lamp under my feet. I know my faith strong, but my flesh still kinda weak. When that victory be looking like the verge of defeat, and I feel that disrespect, help me turn my other cheek and say, sticks and stones may break my bone, but your words can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me. No, I ain't been right more than I've been wrong, and it still can't hurt me. No, it just can't hurt me. No. It's easy being petty. Mama used to tell me, gotta use you when he ready. Cause I ain't working on my own timing. Ain't got no diamonds on me, but I stay shining. Yeah, yeah. They say the world would be a better place if we take out the hate. Stop all the hate right now. Yeah. Let's keep it real. It'd be better if we just subtract the fake. Yeah. So be a light up on my path and a lamp under my feet. I know my faith strong, but my flesh still kinda weak. When that victory be looking like the verge of defeat, and I feel like disrespect, help me turn my other cheek and say sticks and stones may break my bone, but your words can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt me. No, I ain't been right more than I've been wrong, and it still can't hurt me. No, it just can't hurt me. No. No, you just can't hurt me. No, you just can't hurt